Hello and welcome back to the table. Welcome back, Wonders. We are about ready to acquisition ourselves a ship, hopefully with a captain and crew. That would be for the best, I assume.
Man, look at these lights. Just like, what was that guy you were telling me before?
Ryan Gosling's character
Ryan
in
Gosling.
Blade Runner. The scene when he looks at the holographic
Yeah.
woman with a broken nose.
Let's see that. We got some new lights that are shining in my face over here. Shining in the camera from your angle.
Giving us some visual flavor, some fun.
Remember to silence your phones, everybody.
Yeah, come on.
Man,
That was planned.
Oh,
Just
you know
to-
what? Good,
it was
good.
a lesson.
All
PSA.
right,
It
we
was
needed
an
an example. I like
Yeah.
it.
Lead
Okay.
by example.
man.
Get that text I sent you?
Yeah. Reminding me to silence my phone. Thanks.
Good call.
You know what's fucking sick about these lights? When lasers and liches becomes an actual fucking thing, these will be very useful.
Or any sort of cyberpunk thing.
Hell yeah. All right. So when last we left our heroes, they just started their new day after finding a newfound friendship in their tabaxi friend Micha, who is the noble that the guardsmen have been telling them to seek out to find passage onto a ship. She had claimed that she knows someone who can assist you guys getting onto the only ship that is smuggling people in and out near the canal, called the Oscuro. And as of right now, the only place where you could find it is at a carve house that is in the quarantine zone. So now you guys have been left to your own devices to figure out how are you going to sneak into the quarantine zone near the harbor.
Now, if I recall correctly, we were going to try to use Micha as she's a doctor. She can go through here. And a couple of Chromagil was going to disguise himself as basically a treatment mushroom.
Yes, you were pretty much a walking golem that is like carrying all the like materials needed to cure this thing.
And Morgan was going to play the role of hired muscle.
Yep.
And Wake was either going to try to sneak in through the docks or stealthily sneak behind everybody because he doesn't exactly blend in on that hired muscle ground.
No, unfortunately not. And Valtar is too out there to be a part of this team, unfortunately.
Be a little conspicuous.
It'd be way too inconspicuous for that point. So Valtar will stay behind, though she tells you that she is actually looking into something that a lot of people have been saying at the magic shop. Something about creatures called the Yith that no one has questioned so far, but apparently everyone in this town is aware of. She doesn't know what it is. None of you guys know what it is. So she's going to be spending time looking up what that's about. With that, Micha finishes up her breakfast, and I'm sure you guys all do as well. Because of the kick-ass room she got you for the night, you were all able to get 10 extra HP on temporary.
Mm-hmm. That was a good tub.
He slept in the tub the
It
whole
was
night.
so good.
The most delicious soil.
The poor fucking the housekeeping came in and saw you sitting in the tub. They thought someone knifed your kidneys and left you in there for dead.
More salt.
Chromagil just hung out in the darkest corner of his room, just
Staring at the wall.
just staring at the
Staring
wall
at the
and
wall.
trying to feel as at peace and with nature as he could.
And Krovic and Morgan.
Morgan's just cuddling the Necrostar like a teddy bear in his bed. Oh, it's quiet time again. Peace and quiet.
All right. So with that, you guys wake up and, you've already woken up. I apologize. You head up outside of the inn, and you head down towards the harbor. It is probably around, I'm gonna say 9 o'clock in the morning at this point. You're getting a lot of bustling people just getting in and out of work, trying to find some kind of work near the docks, but there's a lot of strikes going on of people who just cannot get work because of the quarantine and the lockdown, so a lot of fishermen's boats are not available as of right now. So there's a lot of civil distress near the docks, but for the most part, they don't bother any of the folk who are like working over at any buildings or whatnot or setting up bazaars. That's just not fair to them. That's not their fault. However, there are a couple of folks who are like still drunk from the night before because they have absolutely nothing to do. So you're just getting a lot of people who are sympathizers with just saying, why don't we just burn the quarantine zone? You're getting a lot of drunk idiots who are just like, let's just kill the ball.
I just imagine like guys standing next to me. We should just burn them. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, just like one dude kind of just like just leans up against you and like throws his arm around you, takes a swig of like a paper bagged bottle of whiskey. We should just burn them all.
It's 9 a.m. Get your life together.
I can't. It's because of those. It's the damn quarantine, mate. I can't do it. Let's burn them. You and me. Let's start a fire. With this. He holds the drink to you and shaking it, and he like holds up a lighter. You guys are all there. You all see this. And Micha is just like, nope, I'm not getting in on this. No.
Chromagil doesn't understand if this is some sort of ritual or
I am
tradition,
going
so
to-
he isn't going to interfere.
I am going to sleight of hand, and you're going to have to let me know if you're going to allow this because it's kind of out of the flavor of the ability itself because I'm not allowed to use it to cause harm.
Go for it.
But can I basically like look for any like scrap of his clothing that I can use my elementalist ability to basically just kind of start an ember so it will start burning?
I'd like you to give me an investigation check.
Investigation. I'm pretty dumb, and these new lights make it even harder to see. 13.
13? With a fucking 7. Yeah, he took a disadvantage because he's fucking drunk as shit. He doesn't know. You can do so. You can,
All right, basically I just like reached down my hand. Are you okay? Like his coat just kind of lit on fire. You where you pulled that lighter from it.
Oh, well, ain't that just... He takes...
Here, I'll hold your whiskey. Run.
No, he takes the whiskey.
Don't do that.
Micha just immediately looks to the left, slaps it out of his hand.
I'm gonna try to catch that whiskey. Would this be what am I rolling here?
Dexterity, acrobatics. Yeah.
Acrobatics.
That's fair.
Right, cool. That's what I'm good at. Acrobatics is a modified 20.
20. Yeah, you snatch it out of his hand, and she just goes, "Oh, for the love of!" She takes out her canteen and pours it on the fire.
That would have been a waste of whiskey.
And now
You're
it's
darn tootin'. Hey, do you want to start a fire?
No.
Don't let this fellow near any woodlands. He seems very interested in setting things on fire.
Noted.
add whiskey to my inventory.
Okay, well, you just let me know.
I'll let
Wait,
you know.
I'll let you know. No, shh.
Okay.
Shh. He like puts his hand to your face and just rubs down. You actually feel oil rubbing on your face as it goes down.
And he feels shark scales against his skin, so that doesn't feel great.
He's got gloves on.
Oh. Ew.
He's a fisherman.
Oily gloves.
Oily glove.
Yeah, dude. You don't know where this guy's been. You see like a streak of oil go down his face in the hand plant.
Oh, smells like old chum.
Yep.
Just about.
Now you listen here, young fella. You tell those folk over at the quarantine zone. You gotta either leave or die. You just got. Hold on, Krobagil. He kind of just like leans himself against you. Roll me a strength save as he pushes against you.
Oh no! 5.
You are okay. Well, yeah. Well, that whiskey, that alcohol gave him some superior fucking strength. As he goes to lean on you,
Hello, human.
thinking that you're a wall, so he can throw up on, and he pushes you down, and he falls on top of you, and there's a puddle of puke forming on your chest.
This seems.
No, but the liquid of the puke is pushing off your suit, so now it's just a mound of what looks like dog feces that's green.
And we ate how long ago?
Yep.
I mean, he eats whenever.
I was gonna say I'm kind of in a constant state of
I'm being
absorbing
meta here
nutrients
for a
from
second.
everything, including dung, mind you.
Yep.
So this is
So
not,
this is a free meal
like,
for
this
you.
This isn't the worst. He kind of just like he's not exactly gonna be smearing it on himself, but he kind of just rubs it, but doesn't exactly wash himself.
Yeah.
Just, this has been a fascinating morning.
One of the constables kind of just like meander overseeing that and just grab him and pick him up and try to help you up. I'm so sorry, sir. The locals are getting a little rambunctious again, and this is the leftovers from the night.
No harm done. It just seems he's spilled a little of himself on me, but it'll be cleaned up in a jiffy. Just make sure he gets home safe.
They didn't hear any of that.
I said that for my friend's benefit, I guess.
I say it for him. I say it for him.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. He just seemed to have a bit of an accident there. Go make sure he sleeps off.
Micha, on the other
Go make
hand,
sure he sleeps off that hangover.
Micha, on the other hand, looks at this whole situation. Her ears perk up. You watch as her mouth like kind of like flares up like when cats hiss, and she like goes to the constable. Excuse me, you don't seem to be doing your job correctly, sir. This is highly toxic emitted golem I am using. This is a medical procedure that I am bringing over to the quarantine zone. And for all we know, all my research could be contaminated. How are you going to compensate for this?
Micha, no, it got on my armor. It's fine. There's nothing.
Persuasion.
Like, she can keep going, and no one can hear me but you guys, but...
Fucking 18 plus her persuasion of a +4. 22 on the constable. Man, by 1 point, he almost was able to beat her. Rolled a 19.
Nice. That'll do.
But Micha, like, this guy, like, backs up. He's like, who are you talking about? She flashes her badge at the last second. Oh, fuck. She kind of, like, he looks over to you. He looks over to you and notices, like, as you're getting up and just washing, like, just, like, patting yourself off. He's just like, Ma'am, I'm sorry. We will have this rabble arrested post haste. How much is this to you? She just looks over and goes, well, for all the good I've been trying to do for this town, and for the fact that this ruffian might have just ruined it.
I shrug.
A compensation of an entry into the quarantine zone where we are scheduled to meet one of my clients, and 500 apiece. Oh, that doesn't seem to, for everyone. The constable just, like, looks left and right to every single person, like, what do you mean, everyone? Micha, being a psychologist plague doctor, has an ability that she can steal her presence enough to actually force her way into a social position.
It's one hell of a combination. I'd love to see that back in the Middle Ages. Yes, I'm a psychologist and plague doctor.
Don't you worry.
I'm here to help you bridge that gap to death.
With an advantage roll on that versus the... No! With a 3!
Oh.
The constable cannot physically offer you all 500 apiece, but everyone's getting 200.
Even me? A
Yep.
supposed construct?
Even you.
I mean, I think Micha's taking your share and will give it to you, but...
Yeah, no, she goes... he doesn't look to you, and she goes, excuse me? The medical procedure, please. I need compensation for that.
I just picture him as Baymax.
With that shitty fucking roll. He was unable to. He was unable to not fight it.
Just gives me 200 gold and sees me just shove it into a fold in my arm.
Yep. And with that, because of that whole fucking scenario and with these kick-ass rolls that Michi was making, you guys got entryway into the quarantine zone.
That was a lot easier than I expected. Funny how things turn out. Thank you, Micha.
She just looks to you and smiles with a small nod. Her hands behind her back as she's walking, just very proudly.
Thought I was gonna go have to beat up some Sahagin or something, but this is much easier.
Oh, you might.
Oh.
The dead shrimp are very rambunctious.
Cracks neck.
If they're dead, how can they be rambunctious?
Man, listen, okay? I just wanted to get a fucking gag out about the dead rabbits from fucking the Prohibition era, okay? Come on. Come on. Let me have this. Listen, I couldn't exactly fit Bowery Street Boys into this. Come on.
Your joke goes over Chromagill's head. You gotta deal with that.
Alrighty. So with that, you guys are asked to actually take with you, for anyone who looks like they can breathe, They look to you and they don't know where the fuck a mouth goes for you, and Micha kind of explains that, hey, listen, he can't do that. He breathes amorphously through his skin. So,
I have gills, my friend.
well, at that point, Micha's just like talking out her ass right now because she's in command of the situation. She doesn't fucking know or care about what you are. If anyone was supposed to know and or care about that, you'd want to talk to Valtara.
I'm going to say assume anytime, because Chromagil is going to take this opportunity to basically let Micha take lead on any sort of discussion, since he is kind of just bumbling along at this point. So anytime anyone looks to him, I'm going to take that as an intimidation roll move.
Oh,
Because he's
fuck.
just going to be a big, scary mushroom man standing next to this doctor.
So she pretty much explains, like, very horribly so. Like, she just starts spouting information that no one but, like, slack-jawed yokels would believe. So, you can't tell if a lot of what she's saying is racist or not, but it's working.
I don't know or care, says Chromagil.
Wake might believe some of it.
Yes, he speak his voice. If you sometimes hear his voice, that means that the contagion is spreading through you.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
You know that clammy feeling you get, sir, when you walk out into the morning? That's him incarnate.
You're welcome.
Anytime he exhumes, the longer we stay outside of the quarantine zone, the longer you will begin to clam up and become as one with, oh, I don't know, say, the skin complexity of a seahorse.
Kinda
The guy
shakes
just
his-
goes, oh, no.
Shakes his cap a little bit, letting some ineffective spores just kind of drop off that mean virtually nothing, but with this mental setup, just a little scary mushroom dandruff flying around.
Yep. So, roll a persuasion check along with that.
3?
Okay, no.
Some terrific rolls tonight.
If you kind of played that off, they would have allowed like a small escort guard to walk you guys in. But with that thing, no one wants to be near you. So you pretty much just exiled yourself from talking to any constables at this point. With that, you guys enter inside. They give you gas, like not gas max, but like sort of like just breathing apparatuses to put around your mouth.
I just picture it as like one of those SpongeBob upside down fish bowls with water in it for Wake. Just plump.
I love it in here.
Oh, this is nice.
They kind of like give you a small little symbol on you that it almost reminds you of Kelpie from what you've seen before, but it looks more like a badge, and it has, instead of like the obvious picture of a seahorse, it now has the pictures of what looks like kraken tentacles coming out from the sea itself that kind of entwine around the seahorse, but then stop halfway, like the seahorse is looking proudly at it.
Seems nice.
That's just a badge of honor showing that, like, hey, if you need to talk to a constable or anything, or this is a higher standard notice. But that also does kind of make Micha go, that's kind of not good. I mean, we're going to have to hold on to these because it shows it's our nobility, our quote-unquote nobility.
Oh, look at me.
But
You're so noble, Wake.
Thank you.
that also means that we might be targeting ourselves for anyone who's looking to get some free money.
Whoops.
Do nobles traditionally hand out free money? I
No, dear.
pulls the 200 out. I have something.
She, like, looks to you and goes... And she, like, just takes it out of your hand and pockets it in her own,
Satchel.
yeah, in her own satchel.
I'm a noble now.
I will hold on to this for now, dear. She looks to you. As long as we play along, the constructs for medicine don't talk.
Understood. I mean,
You play your part well, sweetie. Let's wait until we get to the carve house before you can speak again.
just gives a little
So,
thumbs up.
so now, you guys enter in through the quarantine zone. This place is disheveled as all get out. There are broken doors, broken windows, buildings look like they've been torn apart, burned at, broken into. A lot of folks, there's a lot of broken bottles on the floor. It looks like there's a lot of people who have been trying to like bandage themselves up. There are people laying in the streets, kind of just like huddled up in rags. you can actually see that, like, some of their skin is a little lumpy, whatever it's showing, and there's, like, a little bit of something growing out of them. You can see this clearly, that the blood cell barnacle is taking root inside of them. These are advanced stages at this point. This isn't the cure phase where, so long as they take care of it as quickly as possible, they could have possibly been able to live with it in a symbiotic relationship. This is just its overtaking at this point.
This seems like a very bad case of this blood cell barnacle.
Yeah. Micha even looks to every single one of you. I would advise all of you to not near anyone and not touch anyone who shows hyper symptoms.
Noted.
Do my best, I guess.
I would also advise you, she, like, pulls out her sap, physical force if necessary to keep them away.
Oh. All right, then.
She looks like, okay, no, this is bad. You have to keep sterile. Keep sterile or shit is going to go very south. So, walking along the docks, you're still seeing a lot of other people who are rioting to find work, even though they got blood cell barnacles on them as well. Not the hyper symptoms, but there's still a lot of people who are rioting just to find work. There's a main street you can go, which is where the people with the hyper symptoms are all laying in the street, and a lot of them are now looking up and noticing that someone just entered in. Or you could take your chances at going through the dock with all the rowdy sea workers. What do you choose?
The dock is obviously the shortest route.
It is the shortest route to the carve house, but you're kind of dealing with a bunch of rioters.
Perhaps if I just spoke to them all at once, I could inform them that we're here to help, and if they stay out of our way, things will go more smoothly.
Micha kind of just, like, turns and looks to you. If we're going to play along with this story, I suppose it could work if you tried to persuade it that way. But again, I don't wish any of us to come in contact with anyone who has very high symptoms.
Understood.
Thus why I said, for all of you, do not touch them, keep them at arm's length, and stay away from them. But again, we could walk around them we could walk around all of this through the carve house, or we could take our chances going through that rambunctious riot over there. What do we choose?
It's still early in the day. I mean, we have the time to go around.
That's true.
They aren't leaving until the evening, as far as we're aware.
As long as we avoid contact with those displaying extreme symptoms, we should be safe, yes?
Yes, which is the main street. The main street. So pretty much you're going.
Okay.
It's this way. Go through the rioters or go through the main street where there's people with hyper symptoms.
Okay, so going that way is more risk for the disease. Going the other way is more risk for just people being assholes.
Pretty much.
Well, I'm probably better at dealing with people who are being assholes, if I'm going to be honest.
She looks. She was holding up a healing kit this whole time, just looking to you. I will take your lead. I will take the judgment of people who are more seasoned adventurers than I am. However, if we do take the main route, I can work magic, not miracles.
I am ready to weather the storm of rioters to get us to where we need. I believe we shall be safe. Wake is here. He's good at dealing with assholes, he says.
I am. So I said, so he says.
Morgan.
Let's do it.
All right. Asshole path it is.
Excellent. So with that, you guys decide to go take the dock area.
Yes, I'm glad nobody heard me yell that out loud.
With that, you guys decide to take the dock path. There is a sidewalk and a very disheveled pier side. The pier side is filled to burst with just a bunch of sailors and seamen all just sitting. I know, get a chuckle.
I was waiting for him to say it the first time.
Got me on that second round.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It made me lol.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm glad you lulled so hard. Anyway, a bunch of sailors. There's a mixture of elves, dwarves, humans, a couple of lizard folk that look like they're a little bit more aquatic, so like monitor lizard kind of deals. And there are Sahagin mixed into here. Though on the street, there's a lot more Sahagin standing in the streets and just watching the riots off from the side. Roll a perception check for anyone who wishes to.
Perception is 14.
14? They are finely dressed. They look like they're very well off and show absolutely no symptoms of the contagion at this point. Like, there's a couple of Sahagin who are standing there, like, they have weapons at the ready. One guy has a pistol on one side, slung on his side. He's wearing a button-down vest and a white shirt down the middle of, underneath the vest. And, like, really, like, prim and proper matching color khakis. And they're also wearing hats. Like, some of them are wearing, like, little ivy hats. Some are wearing bowler hats. A couple of them are smoking cigars. They're just sitting there watching.
Straight
all
out of the
this laughing.
1920s, gotcha.
Yep.
Well, let me see.
Then if you take the sidewalk, you're gonna be risking walking into these gentlemen. There is a huge clump of them all sitting on one corner that you're going to have to press through in order to get through. Or you could take the dockside and just go through all the angry seamen and sailors, all just like looking for work, going to like ship to ship and just like screaming at anyone that passes by them, "Give me a job."
I'd err on the side of the people that are clean cut and not sick. That and I probably share a common language.
Makes sense to me.
All right. So you guys walk on over on the sidewalk.
First, before we do that, I'm going to basically take that badge that was given to me and just kind of like put it on the inside of my collar so that I can flash it when necessary, but it's not outright visible.
And unfortunately for Micha, she kind of can't because it's into like her actual like her insignia for being a doctor is entwined into her cloth, so
fine.
she can't get rid of that.
Right.
That's just a badge she has to wear. She can get rid of the other badge like you did, just like anyone else can. But the problem with that is that she still has South Zealous nobility etched on her clothing.
Yeah. I figured she'd be a beacon, but at least this way I can pull off a different cover story.
So, with that, you guys decide to walk down the street. You are walking towards a large congregation of the Sahagin. There are two smaller ones and two very large ones. One, like the two large ones, I'm gonna say like they would actually take up a large size category. They're fucking huge. And the smaller ones take up a medium size category. And there's one smaller one, like probably about maybe smaller than like same size as Micha, about smaller than you are. The Sahagin are now staring you guys down, like they're just watching you pass by.
I'm playing it cool, not looking at him.
I need everyone to
Or at least not attempting to make eye contact.
Yeah, people who are not attempting to make eye contact, I need you all to roll a insight check.
Insights. Insight is a 19.
21.
All right.
7.
And Micha's insight is pretty good. She has a +5 to it, so she had a 21. Unfortunately, they all look at Chromagill.
Yeah.
Who tries his best to look away, but his natural curiosity just gets the better of him, and he starts like observing them as if he was just a tourist looking at someone that he doesn't recognize.
The smallest one kind of like takes a drab from his cigar and looks at you. You look lost, friend.
Oh, fuck.
I wouldn't say lost. We know where we're going.
Oh, really? And where exactly are you going?
And down towards the carve house, have a delivery to make, so to speak.
Delivery? And, what sort of delivery?
Medical equipment.
Waves.
Micha, unfortunately, is just like, well, jig is up. May as well answer this. Yes, dear. We're here to send some supplies over to the carve house. Oh, now ain't that sweet. We got someone here, boys, from South Zealous, who is looking to give a little bit of a bleeding heart to those who are sick and dying.
I mean, mend a bleeding heart would probably be better.
Yeah, but that doesn't do good business for us. So, why don't you go ahead and tell us why this delivery of yours is so precious?
Well, It's important to get it over there, basically to make sure that everything around here could keep running smoothly.
Deception.
Not bad, considering I have such negative charisma. That's an 18.
He like looks to you and then looks to the rest of the other fellas that he has with him. Now, if you don't mind, friend, we'd like to ask a few questions, maybe 3 or so, just so we can get our story straight. And they kind of like all stand in between everyone and section everyone a piece. They're all gonna ask you the same questions, and if the story doesn't add up, they're gonna call bullshit.
Are they dividing me and Micha?
Yes.
Chromagil will just start walking towards Micha, like not like in a forceful way, but just as if like this is what I am. I have to accompany her, and just walks over towards her, like sidestepping sidestepping whoever is trying to divide us.
Roll me a intimidation check, because unfortunately the one that they have sequestering you and Micha off is one of the bigger boys.
5.
Nothing doing. They're separating you. The big guy kind of just like turns and looks at you. You're looking at basically like a more feral shark person.
Well, all right. I mean, I guess he can do that, but I haven't spored these guys, so as far as they know, I can't talk. So they're gonna ask me questions, so they better be yes or no.
I picture Jinbei.
Just big chubby fish man standing between us.
I was thinking more like you know the oh god, it's really hard to fucking put this together. Like think like creature from the Black Lagoon, but way more like tyrant-ish.
Gotcha.
Top heavy.
Yeah, more top-heavy than anything else. All right, so if you'll give me just a quick moment, I'm going to see what these boys are going to question you all for, and we're going to go around the room and ask those questions.
Just sending out a mental telepathy. If anyone asks Micha, I'm bound to you.
Do.
I know, I apologize.
Oh, no worries. Wake's just like eyeing them, just what?
Chromagil is standing there, kind of like shifting around uncomfortably, but not seeming angry or like super agitated. Just this is clearly not where he wants to be.
What'd you guys do over the weekend?
Yeah, I apologize. I apologize, guys. I'm just getting the questions out.
It's all good.
I worked a lot on my little startup project I have going on my channel right now, and set up for my D&D campaign that went up yesterday, basically.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
that was basically my weekend. Just a lot of personal work.
Nice.
Nice.
I played a bunch of Tales of Vesperia on my own time because I want to get that platinum for that game, and I'm an insane person because it's like a 100-hour game, and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
That's crazy.
But I also love that game, and I want to be able to look at my trophy list and see a little platinum trophy by it.
No, I feel you. I want to do that for Devil May Cry 5, but I don't know what that requires. I'm really loving the game so far, though.
That's good.
Heard it's good.
Yeah, except for V. I'm not huge on V's play style.
That's the with the stick.
With the cane, yeah.
Okay.
Where you just send your pets out to fight for
V
you.
is fucking baby mode, baby easy mode.
I mean,
That's
especially like I hear he gets more intuitive in like later difficulties where you actually have to, avoid things that pop out of nowhere. But.
Yep. So I believe we are now ready.
Cool.
All right.
All right, so the moderate-sized gentleman is going to sequester off Morgan. Mm-hmm. All right, kid. So who do you work for?
Point at Micha. I'm her muscle.
I see. So why exactly are you going to the Carve House?
I'm just hired muscle. She didn't tell me all the details. She just basically hired me to protect her and her toy.
All right, so at this point, since you guys are all going there to get passage to the Oscuro, so unfortunately, this is going to act as deception.
Okay.
So I need you to roll deception.
Okay. 7.
Morgan's got so many voices in his head, but none of them are good liars.
I think it's because yeah.
He's the one with the highest charisma, I think, in the party.
Which is funny because this guy unfortunately rolled a 3, so we got a 5.
Hey!
Oh,
So he's kind of listening into your story and then looking back at Micha, just like trying to piece it all together in his head, and somehow it's all clicking. And then finally, the third question. All right. So what's the real reason you're in for the quarantine? Everybody here wants something, and you're too clean to want to be sticking around here.
I'm trying to think of something flavor-wise that'd be nice. Oh, you silly man. You think I'm clean. I kind of gently tug the breastplate over and kind of show him my wounds as an intimidation check.
Okay. Roll with advantage.
Oh, thank Christ. That's a modified 20.
Match. On a match, he just looks over at you and goes, nice scar. I got a set of my own. He kind of takes a puff of his cigarette and lets you go back towards the center. Wake. You get one of the bigger boys.
Hi.
All right, Pee-wee.
Just picturing.
He's saying this in Aquan, by the way. Who do you work for?
Basically, I say, "What's up, what's up, Jumbo?"
All right, Pee-wee. Who do you work for?
I point at Micha. I'm here with her.
All right. Why are you going into the carve house?
As far as I'm aware, she needed to make that delivery with that mushroom thing over there.
Deception.
Swear we've already talked about this. Nat 20.
Ooh.
Go Wake.
All right. Kind of a little perplexed by that. This guy doesn't look like he's the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's kind of there to be intimidating muscle. So at this point, I'm going to need you to roll insight as he intimidates you on the third check. As he kind of lurches over and now is hovering you. This you don't even see anything except for this guy's mass at this point.
Willpower versus intimidation. That is a 19.
19. Kind of intimidating, but you kind of just shake it off a little bit as he comes in for the question.
I fought Nedra.
Yeah. So what's the real reason you're in the quarantine? You folks are too clean to be here.
They needed somebody that spoke our language.
Deception.
16.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, 15. My bad.
15?
Yeah. That was a 16 on the die.
You kind of just you hear him growling, and you can feel the fucking just air coming out between his teeth as he does
Jesus.
that. It's this weird heated moisture as he breathes down on you, and then just leans up and walks aside so you can step in back to Morgan.
Ugh. All right.
Krobagill.
Just stands kind of just very straight.
All right, Squishy. What do you work for?
Points at Micha.
So why are you going to the carve house?
Points at Micha.
Deception with disadvantage.
Oh no!
I'm going to assist him to give him a neutral roll, just basically yelling out. I can't assist by yelling, he can't talk, you're wasting your time.
No, because the other guy was in front of you while this was happening. This is all happening in
all at
tandem.
the same time, gotcha.
Yeah. That's why they sequestered you guys.
Gotcha, okay.
Disadvantage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
5?
What the fuck? I matched it!
Boom! You stand accused, the pointer.
Okay, so instead of that having to work, this guy is just... You're beating him with sheer confusion more than you are giving him questions.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little insight. I don't think it will matter what his next question is. I'm probably going to point to Micha.
Oh no, I know. But again,
You're a little too clean, Mushroom Man.
What? Why are you really here? Meech.
all right. Well,
His big old mushroomy hands are tied if he can't talk his way out of it, and he doesn't want to give away that he can do that.
all right. Fuck me, I rolled a nat 1.
Thank God they threw the dumbest guy to interrogate the mushroom man.
I mean, it's his first
He doesn't
day,
even
man.
give you the third question. He just lets you go.
Like, all right.
Just fuck it. It's my first day.
But now this,
Talking to a mushroom.
but now this means that the other guy has been left alone
Ac-
talking to Micha.
Actually, just a second. A quick flavor thing. I'm just gonna see. All right, yeah. Instead of walking towards the center, Chromagil starts walking towards Micha.
The big guy grabs you by the shoulder and lurches you back.
He stays.
You comply?
Yeah. He was mostly doing that to just prove that he is here for Micha and only Micha.
Yeah,
that
but
will be
he
where he goes.
he grabs you by the shoulder and then just turns you to walk towards everyone else.
Just kind of dejectedly walks towards the others.
So you three are left alone while the other guy's talking to Micha. What will you say to each other at this point? And if you are going to say anything to each other at this point, I need you to roll stealth.
Whispers.
Yep.
Not me. 'Cause
You
they
don't
can't
have
hear
to.
Me.
Nope, you don't have to.
All I did was point, and they let me come over here. I tried to walk near Micha to see if I could talk them into letting, or to stand next to her and assist as evidence, but they wouldn't let me. I figured it'd probably cause her less problems if I just came over here.
Wake just nods.
Morgan nods.
All right. Let me roll for Micha versus...
Wake's just gonna stand there looking very bored.
With that, they bring Micha back. They all kind of, they actually walk off to the side, talking to each other a little bit. They're still kind of, in your way, so you can't really move. So you're looking to get through the canal, then. Micha just kind of, nods. Yes, more than likely.
That's
Why else would we come to this filthy, degenerate place?
Wake shrugs. That's what she says.
No, because by the way they pieced the story together, by the way you guys spoke about this and what Micha said with the role that I made, she kind of made it that, hey, I'm the boss of this operation, and I want us to go see about the Oscura.
Shrug.
So, you guys being complacent with her, they kind of just feel like, oh, then you're just hired thug. So...
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Points to Micha.
God damn it.
She says goes, my friend.
All right. All right then, sweetheart. What exactly what exactly do you have to offer for getting onto the Oscura, then? Well, I figured there would be a price, gentlemen. And as luck would have it, I believe there's someone that you know that works at the Carve House that might be able to assist me with that. A gentleman known as Wendell Sykes. They all kind of turn and look to each other. And they just grunt and say, all right, follow us. Yeah, they're all fucking just all right, well, obviously we can't rough you up. They looked like they were ready for a fucking beatdown, but at this point, her finally saying that and going, oh, it's just strictly business. They're like, all right, well, by dead shrimp law, we kind of can't fuck with you. We have to get going now. So they actually escort you out of the riot zone and take you over to the Carve House. This place is filled to burst with people who are just drinking and sitting at tables and just all coughing and just pissed off that they have absolutely no work. This place isn't as contaminated as the streets are. They kind of did a good job trying to quell off the disease. But there's still folk that have a common cold. Some guy has a fever. One guy's throwing up off on the side because he drank too much. Other two dudes are playing the knife game with their fingers.
Sounds like a rowdy bunch.
Yep. And a lot of them are actually Sahagin too. So it looks like this place is kind of protected by hired muscle.
Makes sense.
All right. So at this point,
Question, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
Throughout all of this, when I've seen any Sahagin, have any of them been infected by the disease or look to be infected?
that would actually have to be a medical check on your part.
13.
13? No, for the most part, they're all clean. If anyone is sick, it's not because of the blood cell barnacle.
All right. Wake's starting to maybe piece together that those of the sea aren't affected by this. Potentially.
You could probably bring that up to someone. I mean, if you want to, you are walking with these guys. You could ask them.
Yeah.
Like you're not like forced to keep silent. You could still speak.
So, I've noticed a lot of, let's say those of us that come from the ocean don't seem to be getting sick with this stuff. I'm new around here. Does it just not affect us?
They kind of look to you. Nah, a couple of us have been infected too. Some of us at least were able to get a cure out of it, so we're kind of stuck with this bug in our stomach. Not too much about our boss's kid, though, however. One of the first less fortunate ones of the cell.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you're telling us. Boss man gets real angry anytime it's ever brought up.
I'll try not to bring it up if I meet him.
Yeah, because you don't want to end up like Mikey over here. The bigger guy turns and looks to you. He tips up his bowler hat. Half his fucking face is missing.
I'm surprised the hat hid that. Wow.
It's a big hat.
He had it tilted over it.
Gotcha.
Like the hat was not on his head properly. He's a giant shark,
Yeah.
top-heavy shark man. Yeah, like the hat doesn't even fit him. It was just covering the spot.
Just imagining that shark in Toy Story. I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Wait, just continues to look forward.
When you look at that bite mark, it looks like that was a fucking forceful bite from someone. That was like a natural shark bite. That wasn't anything like man-made did that.
Now, Wake is a shark merman, and these guys are like massive. I mean, he's a mako shark, so not like a big boy, but
Fast boy.
yeah.
If you want to roll a history check, go for it.
Pretty dumb. 12.
12? That's a bull shark bite.
Wake just nods.
He just goes, yeah, boss's pet doesn't like insubordinates and a lot of talk about his not so kindly around daughter anymore.
I always wanted a pet shark.
Well, I mean, that's all of us, buddy. You should have been born as a Hagen. The guy kind of like looks over towards the ocean. He kind of like lurches you to actually move over and look towards the pier.
I look toward the pier.
You actually look as the big guy who had his face bitten off. He looks like he's squinting, almost like looking towards the water, and you see ripples in the water. And then pops up what pops up is actually a shark fin spinning around.
So you're all mentally connected with a shark?
We can commune with them, yeah.
Huh. I mean, I can talk to them, they just don't necessarily listen.
Oh no, they listen. Watch this. He looks over to the side. There's a guy who's like sitting at the pier fishing. The shark disappears into the water.
I got a bad feeling about this.
A shark jumps up from the pier, grabs the guy by the wrist, and pulls him under.
You're gonna let him go, right?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Wake just continues staring.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I'm not persuading.
Oh, what do you want to do then?
Intimidate?
I'm trying to intimidate him.
Okay, go.
My cold stare. Is it still with disadvantage?
Nah.
Okay. What was that? Okay. That is a 18.
He just goes, fine party pooper. Snaps his finger, and you see the guy like scramble up and try to climb up as he's like very lightly bleeding, not immensely bleeding, like his hand is just all carved up.
Thank you, I say as I enter the carve house.
All right, so Micha kind of like looks to the lot of you. Well, the hard part's out of the way, which is nice. Unfortunate we couldn't use our little smoke detector plan. I kind of like that idea.
We can always save it for later. Maybe we'll need to come back.
Do you know they're all psychically linked to sharks?
Like me to you?
Maybe.
Does anyone want to roll it? You could roll a history check.
I wonder if I could commune with them. And
Wow,
to them
19.
19? Yeah, Sahagin can completely control sharks.
Yeah, heard about that.
I didn't know about that. The only time I ever ran into any, they were eating a hyena in a zoo.
You would have had fun in the armed forces, Wake.
Maybe.
You learned a lot of cool shit.
Huh.
All right, Micha kind of like returns and looks to the lot of you. Well, fun aside, go ahead and mingle with our new friends. We're here looking for a dwarf. Wait, let me read my notes. If I got that right, no, I am completely wrong.
Hey.
We're looking for a sea elf named Windled Sykes. Try to keep it on the down low, though. We're trying to sneak our way on, or at least subtly get our way onto the Obscuro.
So somebody like me, but less fish-like.
Well, an elf that's like blue skin.
Yeah.
You remember one because you saw one before they left off.
Yeah. I don't think I would have recognized her as a sea elf, but maybe not. Who knows?
So pretty much you're just looking like this is how it kind of works this way. It's like Triton are like way more deep sea elf, so they have some like facial structures that are humanoid, but they are like they have like the protrusions coming out of their heads. They got like spines coming out of their sides, almost something like you, but just not with the capability of able to switching between forms.
not quite as fish-like as Wake.
Yeah, sea elves are way more humanoid with like very small amounts of traits that show they're aquatic. So they are the lesser form of that.
They have like webbed fingers and toes and like finnier ears or some shit.
Yeah, but for the most part, they're more elf. So they're pretty merfolk.
All right, so what I get is we shouldn't be saying his name out loud around here.
Use your best discretion. I will be doing my own digging as well.
Oh, never tell me to use my best discretion. You need to meet a person named Red.
Micha, should I travel with you to keep up the ruse that I am your construct to help?
I believe so. But I mean, we already are at the Carve House, so long as our intentions are somehow conveyed without too much worry.
I just want to make sure if I speak to these people, will that ruin the plan?
She like looks up and sees that the bar is way more condensed with thick fog because of all the smoking. Are you able to aim your spores, dear?
Yes, I can I can make sure they go in specific directions.
Bless you.
Thank you. How good are you at subtlety? Because if she pretty much tells you, can you aim the spores to go into the smog above? And that would require a stealth check.
Chromagill will say, among my circle, I was the most subtle, along with being the tallest. Of course.
Your height does help, so I'm not going to give you a disadvantage on sleight of hand if you do this. So
Okay.
first stealth.
Stealth?
Yep.
Okay, not bad. 15.
Yeah, you're able to position yourself at a spot where it's not too conspicuous, and you're able to get your cap into the smog.
I don't want to metagame, but I had an idea. Damn.
Oh,
I'm holding off.
Okay. If you would like to release the spores, go ahead so with a sleight of hand.
11.
All right, well, the smog kind of gives off a, what color do your spores come out as?
The spores will kind of be like I would say, sort of a glittering, but kind of like brownish color would be what I would think.
All right, let me roll something. Let me roll perception on...
Brown glitter.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite in
Yeah,
preschool.
But it's like, if you look at it without direct light, it just looks brown, but when the light hits it, it kind of twinkles.
Now that we've done this, though, I want to give my little metagame thing. I was wondering if that smoke wand you got might have been able to thicken the smoke.
Oh yeah,
to
just
hide
like
it better.
just have it going off.
I'm getting bad allergies, I apologize.
That season.
All right, well, I rolled a 2. No one's paying attention. So now
Worked anyway.
everyone in the Carve House who is not in like a hidden compartment door or anything, so all the patrons are now covered in spores.
Jesus, I have not rolled below a 10 with this thing. Wow.
All right, so at this point, you all are on your own devices to find this guy while Micha goes off to do so as well. So the only thing you guys have right now is even she doesn't know what this guy looks like. You're just looking for a sea elf by the name of Windle Sykes who is looking to get people onto the Oscuro.
He's actively looking for people to get on the Oscuro.
He's the only person who is known to actively seek people out to find way onto the Oscuro. So he's like a smuggler.
All right. Wake's just gonna kind of wander into the crowd, and I'm going to attempt to find like a table where there may be like a couple of sea elves or like a bench that I can sit by. Where there
You know
might be
what?
somebody by.
To make this simpler on everyone, let's roll initiative to see who goes first.
Works for me.
Okay.
Oh, there's my below a 10 roll. 9.
6, 9.
Ha!
19.
All right,
weed
you're
number.
first.
Okay. Let's see. I think
I'm gonna refill my water while he does
Go for it. Go for it.
go for it. I think Morgan's gonna just kind of walk the perimeter of the main hall of the main dining area.
Okay.
Just kind of perusing around.
At this point, what you're seeing is there's a couple of folks playing card games, maybe like 2 tables at best. There's a lot of stalls off to the side on the wall where there's a bunch of trophies, like very disheveled and very broken. There's more pictures of that emblem that you guys gotten that are hanging around more. There's a lot of picture of Sahagin. That emblem is now embossed on the wall, almost like it's carved in. And there's actually some knife markings of very crude drawings of the same picture. If you're looking for anyone in particular, like race-wise, that's going to be an investigation check, because at this point, everyone's kind of covered and hiding their face or just very like they're to themselves.
I'll give it a shot. Damn. Of course, it moved on its side. That's a 4.
You're not able to tell based on looks. You're not able to get a really good picture. A lot of the folks who are sitting at the stools, they're very stout, so you could tell probably a couple of them are dwarves, maybe some are halflings, some are gnomes. There are a couple of taller gentlemen sitting at the table who are like playing cards. There's one card table that has a lot of tall folk. There's one card table that has a stout person and a lot of just normal average sized people, maybe human at that point. There's one Sahagin sitting at that table, and there's more Sahagin sitting at a table who are playing a dice game.
Okay, now the card table with all the tall folk. Is there an empty seat there?
No, there is not.
There is not. Damn.
The only empty seat that looks like is readily available is with the Sahagin, and no one who looks like they want to sit near them. Again, the Sahagin, like, they're easy to spot because of their fucking body type.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of them are very sharp dressed and look like the folks that just got you in here, so they might be part of this dead shrimp guild.
Sorry, I'm weighing my options real quick.
There is no room at the tall folks table, but there is room open at the other dice dice with the Sahagin and the card table with one of the stout folk and a couple of just average folk.
Let me see. Am I anywhere near Wake, since I was kind of walking the edge of the room?
If you wish to do anything with any of your party members, now would be the time to do so before we move on any further.
Okay. I'm gonna regroup with Wake. So, there's a table, the card table, tall folk. Elves are tall, right?
I mean, some of them.
Some of them, yeah. There's that. Table's full, I couldn't get a good look there. There's also the Sahagin over there playing dice.
I've been eyeing that.
Have you seen all these emblems around here?
Yeah. Not sure if that's a good thing around here, or if it's just the fact that it was up before everybody got sick.
So I have an idea. Since you both share a common dialect, maybe you can talk to the Sahagin at least about maybe the emblem, maybe try to get a little bit of info out of them, and I'm going to go to that card table with the empty seat and do some perusing myself. What do you think?
Works for me.
All right.
Wake throws up his Johnny Dark Souls hood.
Right
His
on.
black swordsman hood.
All right, so since we're still on you first,
Yeah.
we'll go with you.
And I'll go to the other card table.
Okay.
Is the seat taken?
Nah, friend. Come on, sit down. Like you hear like actually a little bit of a slur in the guy's voice, almost like, "Oh, come sit down."
Much appreciated.
I heard a lot of strong batting. Come sit down, man.
How does he play cards with boxing gloves on?
Play cards with me, man.
Excuse me, Mr. Man.
Oh God, Senor Card Game.
What if it's fuck it? You know what? I don't give a shit. I'm going with this now.
Hello, strange person. Ooh, what's that thing you have on your hip?
Oh, I can't believe I'm about to beat you with a pair of tweez.
You would never do anything to Dockside.
Can we move along?
So yeah, no, you get like
Alright.
you get like a very like sit down.
Much appreciated.
Scarred on me, man. I'm surprised no one said that. God damn it.
Well, I mean, I was going to, but you know, he beat me to the punch. All right, so you're sitting down at the table. You get a better look at the folks. They're still kind of covered, so if you want to roll an investigation check one more time to see the races you got sitting at the table.
Okay. Not my strong suit. Damn it. A 7.
I mean, you can swap it out for perception if you want as well. Like in
Yeah, because I get something better than that, if that's all right.
yeah, go ahead.
Reroll or just...
roll again.
Okay. 13.
13.
Bless you.
God damn it. Might need to take a break after this.
All right.
All right. So you're sitting at a table. There is a dwarf, what looks like another dwarf, 2 humans, and there's one seat that almost looks like it wasn't supposed to be taken. Like when you moved it out of the way and you looked to your side, it was a kobold.
Oh.
So one of them was really tiny, just hidden under the table, but he still has a hand of cards at the ready.
Oh,
Sure, you know how to play poker.
It's been a while, gentlemen. I just needed to rest the old sea legs for a minute. Mind if I watch around?
Of course, so long as you're not cheating. As they all like pull up their pistols, they're like telling you like, don't cheat.
Okay.
Like, don't be a squealer.
Okay, so basically, just as a show of good faith, I take off my red coat. So it's my sleeves are supposed to... Okay.
Seeing that gesture, they continue on with their game. And they're all talking about, like, they're just talking about their previous jobs they had. Mm-hmm. They kind of, like, roll me a insight check real quick.
Okay, something a little better for me. 15.
15? You kind of get the feeling that you walked in on a conversation that they kind of just stopped, and now they're trying to find something else to talk about. Like, now they're just talking about their jobs, but before when you walked in, they were, like, all speaking about something in particular. But now that you're here and a stranger, they kind of feel like, that conversation is probably not appropriate at this time.
Well, gentlemen, I hope I wasn't interrupting anything. Sorry, it was just, this is the only table I saw immediately with a free seat.
There was the Socializing sitting over there, son. We could have played cards with them.
I don't know how to play dice.
Oh, that's what they're doing. They're playing pig. Of course they are.
Pig. Yeah, you lost me there.
It's a very common game. I'm quite surprised you don't play it as often.
I'm actually...
This guy's voice is fucked up. It's not Smoker. There is something wrong with him.
I'm roughly new to the region.
Yeah, you look like it. You don't look contagious, so... Something tells me you ain't here just to be looking for work like all the rest of these poor idiots.
Well, I was lucky enough to find some work on the way here. It led me here. But, hey, look. Don't let me ruin the vibe of this table. It was the first thing I saw. First empty seat.
So they're going to continue playing cards. They're all talking to themselves, just speaking about the good old days. Well, except for that one guy who you can barely fucking understand because he just sounds like he's slurred out the balls. Something's wrong with his throat. There is something physically wrong with this guy. You just cannot see it.
Okay. Is there any chance I could do another insight check on him to see if I can just figure out if there's something more to that?
That would be
Or
more of an...
medicine?
medicine if you want to do something physical. Insight would be if they were combating you socially and you're trying to gauge their
Okay.
information. Investigation would be you trying to observe what's going on and piece it together on your own front.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do one quick investigation check. See if I can try and get anything out of that. 18.
Nice. All right. You can actually see a little bit of this guy's face. He's bearded, and he has the etchings of what looks like that symbol that's kind of like scarred into his flesh just underneath his chin. You do notice something else, however. You do notice that they are talking about ships leaving out at the hours of dusk and dawn. And based on what Micha had told you, is that that's exactly the same MO as the Obscuro.
Gentlemen, if I may inquire, y'all were talking about boats leaving at dusk and dawn. That kind of defeats the purpose of the quarantine zone.
They all kind of stop and look towards you.
Well, of course it does. Someone trying to work some moonlighting on the side, you know?
Well, that's understandable, being that work is slow.
Of course it's slow. You see all the folks out there? The dead shrimp got their hands full with keeping the peace.
Sorry. What does that mean on your face? I'm new, sorry.
Persuasion.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, at least I get some bonuses to that. 19.
Ah, you must be new. It's all the signs around here. It makes us one with the Yith, of course.
Okay.
Fucking eldritch bullshit.
Is that like local animal life here?
Not so much animal life. It's more of its, I guess you would call it religion or more of a sect.
Oh.
There's folks that live into the abyss, you see, and sometimes they actually make themselves noticeable
It's
and
not
to
a
the
religion,
common
it's
folk.
a relationship.
Say down in the good old city of Ralach, you'll find him slumbering in...
The Yith actually speak to the common folk. They tell us of churnings in the abyss and keep the water safe for us.
Oh. That's really interesting.
So they don't feel like... You want to roll an insight on this guy to see if like he's on the up and up or if this is just some crazy fucking cult bullshit?
Why not? See, maybe I can get more out of that. Damn it. 7.
That just sounds all kinds of fucking weird, but at the same time, you're a guy who has fucking spirits talking to him, so who are you to call weird?
Yeah.
Really shadows my Innsmouth.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Those were good.
I mean, they're speaking about it, and they don't seem... No one at the table's agitated about him speaking about
It's
it.
just so matter of fact.
Yeah, it's just common knowledge and matter of fact that, yeah, you're an outsider, but no one seems to be upset that you're asking questions about it.
Huh. I'm actually surprised you don't take offense to me prying and asking questions.
No, of course not. Why would we be upset about it? You were kind enough to ask, and so forth. We gave you the answer. Sometimes the simplest things are the direct approach.
Huh.
They all, like, laugh at that. They, like, all of them get, like, a little hearty chuckle. The dwarf especially, as he, like, picks up his grog and slams it on the table.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then is there anything more you can tell me about this moonlight and stuff you're hearing? It's just fascinating.
Working for... Oh, are you expecting us to give you work?
This is just more out of curiosity, friend.
Persuasion.
Okay. Fuck me sideways, of course. I land on 19 and it turns over to a 1.
Natural wonders.
Yep.
Yep.
Nah, they kind of, like, clam up and go back into their card game at this point. So,
okay.
you're kind of just sitting there observing at this point.
Okay.
And now we will move over to Wake, who decides to take a seat at the dice game with the Sahagin.
Yeah, Wake approaches the table, hood up, like weapons out the fucking ass, just everywhere on his back. Walk up to the table, speak in Aquan. The seat taken.
Well, we'll tell you this. We didn't expect anyone to want to come sit down with us, especially be bold enough to want to play us in a game of pig.
Never played. What are the rules?
Our rules are simple. You take a dice. You keep rolling it. You keep rolling it until you get 7 points. Or at least something 7 or above. Once you reach 7 or higher, you stop and then we pass the dice along. And the highest to 20, first person to 25 wins.
Seems like
If you roll a 1, you lose all your points on that turn and skip.
Seems like a simple enough game. What are the stakes?
Nah, we probably got like 50 gold on the line right now. The pot's getting bigger, so right now we're kind of looking at a $400 pot.
Works for me. I sit down.
You put in 50?
I throw like a small bag with 50 gold in it on the table.
They take it. They'll accept you into the table.
Ocean's been rough these days. Should I just start rolling?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a 6. They'll restart the game if someone new came in.
Well, I started with a 1, so my turn skipped.
First guy will take the roll. Gets a 4. Gets another 4, so he gets 8 points and his turn is skipped, but he'll talk.
Well, of course it will. What with the Navy shutting down everything and making sure that this blood cell barnacle stuff doesn't make it all the way to South Zealous.
Been out to the deeper ocean.
What are you, crazy? That's Yith territory. We don't want to go out there. That's not our racket.
And I'll roll for the next guy.
I let my arm out that has like the massive scar on the hand.
He gets 7.
Just kind of like let it sit on the table.
What's that about?
And the fourth guy speaks as he's rolling.
Not sure about the Yith, but I know there are pretty bad things out there these days.
It looks pretty nasty. Looks like something that came up from the canal, it did.
Yeah, I'm looking to get back that way.
You're actually looking to get into the canal.
You must have some kind of death wish. Go ahead and roll. It's your turn.
Something like that. 3, 9.
9? All right, so I'm writing you down. You have 9. The current pool is you with a 9, one gentleman with an 8, one with a 7, and another with a 9.
Cool.
I'm just going to roll these off on the side, and I'll
Yeah,
call
no
it
problem.
out. Roll the 1, Skip.
Well, if you're looking up to get to the canal, then all I can say is good luck, because if you want to go up there swimming, there's no way to get up there.
Yeah, so I've found. Heard there might be somebody crazy enough around here to do it, though. Somebody with a ship.
They all stop and look up at you as you say that. Third guy got a 1, so I'm still continuing on. He got a 1, so fuck it. They all fucking lost points this round, and it's back up to you. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's 2. Persuasion, 17.
17?
That was my non-good die.
Very nice.
2, 6, 8.
So you get 8 points. You are currently in the lead with 17. With a 4 on their persuasion roll, they kind of look to you and go, all right, look. None of the people around here kind of speak the same language we do.
So I've noticed.
Yeah, well, I guess you could say if you're looking for work, there might be one ship that we know about that you'll probably be looking for. You ever heard of a ship called the Oscura?
I've heard rumors.
How far do the rumors go as they roll?
They led me here.
God damn, roll the 1. 6, 3, nice. So that's a 9 for this boy. And number 4 will roll the 1. Fuck me. These guys can't roll for shit.
Well, so it did. Well, let me ask you this. How much you looking to spend to get ferry?
Heard it was looking for muscle. Was maybe looking to trade.
Roll, they kind of just like, they actually stop and like laugh at you about that, and they're all like in that gurgling laughter, so they're all speaking in Aquan, so it's more like hissing everything. Everyone else in the entire room kind of like goes silent and turns to look because they haven't seen them get so jovial in quite some time. Well, we can't vouch for the work on the Obscuro. We just work the fee and make sure that business keeps going. However, are you saying you want to work for the dead rabbit? God, the dead. Yeah. See, real world reference seeped
Dead
in.
shrimp.
Sorry,
Yeah, well,
folks.
you found it.
You want to work for the dead shrimp? Is that what you're asking? Because that we can do. They're asking you to join the fucking Sahagan Mafia.
This is how the mafia works.
This is how Mafia work. Go ahead and roll your pig dice.
Oh, sure. 6. You said 7 or higher?
Yeah, it has to be
Okay.
7. It has to be 7 or higher. If you roll a 1, it loses it.
11.
11? Okay. Hold on, because I think you actually might have won already.
Oh.
19.
Damn,
Yeah.
because my bargain was going to be, tell you what.
Yeah,
if I
you
win-
won.
That's
You won.
kinda- I was going to say, my bargain was going to be, tell you what, if I win this game, you tell me for free and I'll let you keep the money.
Well, unfortunately, with that roll, you won already.
Well, I won. I'll take the money.
Yep. So you now have a pot of 400.
All right.
Are you looking to double? Or are you looking to double? Because they'll say they'll raise the stakes on that since the game went by so quick. So if you put in a pot of 400, you could walk away with 8. They're willing to reset the game back to 400.
Wake's willing to play another 50 in there.
Okay, so the pot's back up to 400. Go ahead and roll your pig dice since you're at first.
Wasn't something I was looking to do today, but if it's my way in there, 10.
Well, they kind of like laugh and just go, "That's all right. We got plenty of coin to spare. This is just for fun." So you get a 10, 3, 4. So at this point, they pretty much have told you like they can't get you on. They can get you to someone who can get you on the Oscuro, but they can't give you a job on the Oscuro because that's the gambit you're playing at this point.
Yeah. Basically, I was just trying to see if they could get me to the person, and I know.
They'll tell you this though. If they're going to work to be like the third party to get you to someone who can get you on the Obscuro, depending on how many people you can get in, depending on how many people want to get on the ship, because it's a limited amount of space, and since you're working through the dead shrimps, the cost is going to be a little higher.
So if we can't find the person that would get us there, they're going to charge us, basically.
Yeah. They can get you on the ship, but at a higher price.
I'll keep that open if I can't find them myself.
All right, let's do another round of pig, and then we'll move on to someone else.
Sure thing.
All right, so you rolled a 10. Let me roll for these boys. So they're going to now just, like, start poking and prodding, like, oh, well, you're clean. What exactly, like, so what business do you have at South Zealous or the Canal that is so important that you have a death wish?
I'm looking for someone.
And who would that someone be?
Wake basically adorns a look that kind of portrays that it's personal.
All right, well, your business is your business. We got our own business, and if you ain't going to talk about it, we'll just shut up about it. We're just here to play games. We're back up to you on the pig dice.
Works for me. 5, 10. Another 10.
All right, you're at 20. Roll for these boys. Damn, 12. He's beating you by 2 points.
Well,
This
as long as I
guy-
don't roll a 1, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, this guy rolled 5, 1, skip. Third guy just got totally reamed. He's just like, fuck, he like slams the dice. You watch as he like hits the dice on the floor, he rolls the 1, he just like slams it, and it flips over to like 3, and he goes, see, it's a 3. And they all just look at him and just go, no.
Wake makes a small gust of wind, pop it back over to a 1. Boop. Looks like a 1 to me.
Roll a charisma check on that.
17.
They all start laughing, and the other guy just kind of like hops and like folds his arms. So far, you're getting through to these guys. They seem pretty okay with you at this point.
Wake gives a small toothy grin.
Yeah, no, they dug that. They dug that super hard. They were like, Tony got screwed. Screw you, dude. Last guy to roll. 5, 10. All right. We got one guy tied with you.
One guy that's ahead of me.
One guy that's ahead of you, and then there's you. So go ahead and roll your dice.
Play your last pathetic die for 8.
You win the pot. That's 800.
All right.
All right, cool. So you walk away with 800.
Well, at least I know how we can secure our payment to get aboard this ship in this case.
Yep. All right. And don't worry, they see that too, considering that you won 2 pots out of the Dead Shrimp Mafia. Chromagill.
Chromagill is kind of just awkwardly wandering around and looking at things, but not making conversation. Just kind of just watching things and waiting for someone to approach him, essentially. But being very purposefully conspicuous, inviting someone to talk to him and just being an oddity in this carve house.
Where exactly do you wish to do this? Because there are 3 sections in the main lobby right now. The game tables, the bar, and the back area where there's people having a little bit more private discussions. Or an area that's more towards hey, here's a sea charter, here's a map, people who are doing trade, talking business about it, but it's kind of dead, but there's still a couple of people who are sitting there going, I'll trade you this halberd for that trout. Man, fuck you, I got something better. Here's a steering wheel for something else.
You said there was a bar?
Yes.
Okay, Chromagill remembers that chatty gentleman from this morning, and is people seem to like to talking around these bar places. I'll go hang out there. just stands nearby, not really ordering a drink because he doesn't know how this works. He's just kind of standing there awkwardly.
There's a robed gentleman kind of just meandering his way over to you, kind of hobbling. He has that etching on his cheek that you've been seeing around, everyone else has been seeing around. What's the poison?
I'm sorry, I don't consume poison. It's very dangerous for me.
Then what are you drinking, or get off the bar?
Oh, I apologize. I didn't want to drink. I just wanted to sit here and observe. I'm new here.
You seem so, stranger.
I'm here with a medical professional, and I just wanted to be sure that everything here was okay.
You know everyone can hear you, yes?
I know.
So they all stop and turn and look at you as they're looking over at the bar. Can you cure us of not having work?
I'm afraid I don't believe I am prepared for that illness, but it seems something else has been
Then
plaguing...
what good are you?
I'm sorry.
There's a Goliath actually sitting at the table who is looking over at you as he says that.
I apologize if I've offended you, sir. I was brought here by my master.
Sir! Pulls the hood down. It's a bald woman.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Chromagill would not have concept for this.
Nope.
No, he would not.
To him, everyone is a sir, because he just knows that's respectful in these lands.
Let me look through my
The
list.
concept of gender and sexuality is entirely
No,
lost
that's
on
fine.
this
That's
fella.
fine.
That's a great response.
No, that's super fine. This woman stands up. Her robe is kind of like a shawl that kind of wraps around her throat. She is wearing dark red leather garbs, and it almost looks like a piece of her gloves actually have metal bits at the end of it. Around her belt is a bunch of very macabre pieces of armament. Some of it actually looking like trophies. Her skin is a dark gray with a little bit of lining of a tattoo that kind of tribals into her flesh. She stands up, and she has belted on the back on her backside is a very long axe. Unfortunately for you, I need you to roll me a history check with disadvantage on this one.
You got it. Disadvantage, you say?
Yep.
All right. Oh, wow. Okay, well, never mind. Last roll was an 18, but this one was a 17. What was it? History?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, 17.
17. Based on this woman's garb, you would know this based on the tales you've heard from the plant life or just walking from here to right. This woman's profession, based on her clothing, she's an executioner. Her job is to kill any creature that is committing crimes in human society.
Make sure they'll never go hungry again.
Yeah. Chromagil puts up his hands kind of in a very like I'm sorry, because recognizing what her occupation likely is. I apologize again if I've said something untoward. Again, I was summoned here by my master. Is Micha like within eyesight anywhere?
Meech in the far back discussing trade with people.
My master summoned me here. She is about talking with people that, from what I understand, it was inappropriate for me to be around. But I was just here to observe. I meant no offense.
Persuasion.
8.
She kind of like sees that you're intimidated by her at this point. She kind of just like giggles to her. She not giggle, but like she kind of like chuckles to herself, just like she kind of like pushes you back into your seat and sits down next to you, kind of playing a power game of just pretending pretending to fuck with you because you obviously are the outsider in this scenario.
Yeah. Ironically, the fish out of water here in this carve house full of fish out of water.
Get the plant some dragon whiskey.
I've never encountered a dragon, though I've heard many stories from travelers. Is there whiskey fine?
Oh, the finest that will ever be. An orange shot glass with orange liquid that's bubbling as sits before you as she takes it. Well, by all means, have the first sip.
Kind of just cautiously, but not to appear offensive. Just kind of dips his hand into the thing and just starts letting his body absorb the liquids.
Roll a con save.
You got it. He will do as he is bid. Because he is scared of making Micha upset at this point. Con save, you said?
Yep.
Modified 20.
That shit burns. You've heard of the concept of fire, but you never realized that it could be on the inside of your body while ingesting this. But it's a good pain. After a while, like, your body, like, you actually watch as your hand kind of, like, shrivels, but then reforms into a very earthy sponge-like texture. That was amazing. You want another one.
May I have another?
The Goliath kind of just, like, looks at you, and then smirks and passes hers to you.
Does the same again. Just another
Roll
dip.
again. Are we making Chromagil an alcoholic?
It's a very, very real
Only
question.
Chromagil can make that choice.
15.
Okay, that one kind of sucks. That burn was a little bit stronger than before, to the point where, like, you actually feel like your hand doesn't reform back to its original shape for longer than it used to. So it kind of, like, shrivels. And you kind of, like, look at this, like, disheveled claw that used to be your hand.
This seems less than...
Your voice is slurring.
This is not what I thought would happen.
You're telling, like, the woman, like, looks to you and just smirks. You're telling me. So, what's your name, plant?
My name is Chromagil. As you can see, the colors on my cap tell you my name. Because of the gills, this is a very fascinating feeling.
Never had such a strong drink, did ya? I didn't even know that, well, whatever you are. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know what you are and you didn't know what I am, so I guess that puts us on even ground, eh, friend?
Affirmative. Is this what dragons do?
Nah, dragons kill you. So you have to kill them first.
Oh, you see, I'm capable of killing, but I've never enjoyed it. I prefer to do things without... This is strange.
Well, that's where we're different, friend. See, that's my job. Name's Cleva Carsidon.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Cleva. Kind of like tries to motion his arms out there, but
Roll me a acrobatics check with disadvantage.
Oh, no.
As you kind of like hold up your frail
I don't need
little
disadvantage
arm.
for that nat 1.
Nat one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Natural wonders.
You grab a gentleman on the other side. Like, you pick up your arm, you swerve it around, and grab another gentleman and start shaking their hand as they look up at you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, whoop.
He looks like he was about to get very angry with you and sit up, and then Cleva turns and looks at him, and he sits the fuck back down. You have just made yourself a friend.
Cleva, I can already tell that I'm having trouble composing myself.
She lets out a roarous laugh at that.
I just want you to know that my people would call you Scary Axe. And if I call you that, it's not an insult, it's my people, we call people by what we see.
I much rather like that, Mr. Chromagill. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Scary Axe.
She orders another round.
No, I don't know if I should have...
God damn it.
He's going to look at the drink.
So she actually starts like opening up to you as she takes a shot for herself. So where exactly are you headed? I didn't know a giant plant such as yourself actually walked around or, just waddled around on 2 feet. Where are you going?
Well, my circle is in the woods near a town that way. Kind of just points, gesticulates.
She's in on this. She
Yeah.
doesn't mind. She's actually like listening to your tale. So even in your drunken state, this is happening. But roll another con save with disadvantage.
You got it.
Oh no.
What's another nat one get me? That time the disadvantage did hurt.
Natural wonder.
Went from a 19 to a 1. Thanks a lot, Zito.
I see. Go ahead.
I
and
don't have an orifice to throw up with, so
No,
I'm real curious. as to what
but
happens
you know what
here.
you do have? You have other spores. So I need you to tell me what other spores you have.
What other spores I have? Okay, well you know the rapport spores. Where
Everybody in the bar is familiar with those now.
Yeah, we've got those. We have pacifying spores, which is one creature within 5 feet makes a con save, or be stunned until the end of the next turn, or hallucinating spores, which basically casts major image on them, major image on them, and those are my 2 spore capabilities.
Roll me a 1d4.
3.
So what was that last spore?
Major
The last
image.
one was major image.
Go ahead and cast it.
All right. They need
Bless you.
a.
Basically, you're just creating an illusion, yeah?
Yeah,
but they need.
so-
But the target needs to make a con save.
Oh.
To not be affected by it. It's
Shrooms, man.
Yep. So
11.
you're about to respond to Cleva, and then all of a sudden you just go, well, I... like your entire cap just exhumes psychedelic-looking colored spores.
oh.
Is it a single target?
It's a single target
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So unfortunately, that means you're targeting Cleva. So let me roll for her.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I have to first say
con save.
Con save.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
11.
11. She fails. What is she seeing?
Oh no.
All right. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I was telling a story. She now sees the forest that I lived in, and she can see like the circle. Like I basically turned this carve house into my stage for this tale.
Explain it then. Tell your story.
You see me standing among a bunch of mushrooms. We all now look kind of way more fun and wavy than we probably do in real life, but we're there.
Like a rubber hose cartoon.
Kinda.
It's the Ed and Eddie outline.
Yeah.
Sorta. Just, it's a little unstable, this image you're seeing. But he's gonna be like, I was among my circle when I felt a disturbance. There's just this imbalance in nature, and kind of just like the image starts getting darkened and more scary as it descends on the circle.
Cleva's eyes kind of like dilate. She doesn't have pupils, by the way. It's like white and then a gray orb. So that orb just goes.
Fear and loathing in La Serranas.
As the darkness crept closer, I felt it was my duty to protect my people as the biggest and sturdiest of our bunch and the most wise. So I traveled forth and came across Micha, and I kind of conjure an image of her.
You just conjure an image of an actual snow leopard. Like it's cut out like it's a clip art.
Just clip art snow.
Amazing World of Gumball style.
Yeah.
she seemed very well versed in the medical field for your people.
So all of a sudden, she has now like a syringe sticking out of her mouth.
And she bid me come with her, for my mushroomy makeup could perhaps help in this sickness situation.
She is enamored by this story. I rolled a nat 1. Roll persuasion. With advantage. No, performance with advantage. I
Performance
apologize.
with advantage. Either way, same bonus. It's still terrible, but 7.
She ain't getting any better with a nat 1.
Hey, cool.
Jesus H. Christ.
She is your best friend. She has you like slung over like, you'd be amazing at South Zealous. She's getting drunk now. with the fucking, on the outside, what it looks like is that she's just like clung to you, like arm around you, like gripping your shoulder and pulling you in. Mm. Her eyes, like, you know, like the fucking, like, eye hypnosis from, like, snakes and cartoons?
Yeah.
That's what's going on in her face right now.
Great. She's tripping balls.
She is tripping balls and drinking at the same time. She's just like,
Crossfading
man, I
instinct.
gotta take you along with me on the Oscuro.
Well, I believe the party I was traveling with was hoping to perchance find a vessel. But I understand these are turbulent times.
No, shut up. Nonsense. I'm gonna make sure that you and your friends get on because you, my friend, are something.
Smiles with his eyes as best he can.
So in 6 hours, there'll be expressions.
Yeah. So for now, he still looks very confused because that's probably how he was feeling 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
But he is going to be just very... That sounds amazing. I'm sure my friends would love to hear. They'd probably also love this delicious drink. He just kind of just points at the bar.
I personally think that you might need to slow down just a little bit. We'll switch you to Krog.
I believe I may have had my limit. This is my.
By the way, I hate to be that person, but I don't have the money for the whiskey. Do you?
How?
Reach is holding his
I was
money.
gonna say he kind of feels for where he knows he put the coin purse.
Roll me a sleight of hand as you are drunk.
7.
What do you have in your inventory?
Not a whole lot. Minor potion, moderate potion, the smoke wand, and I think that's kind of all I'm holding on me. I don't really carry a lot.
You don't know if you have the money, but, however, in your drunken state, you know that trade is just as good as money with the humans.
All right.
So, you don't have the cash, and you don't have the know-it-all to just summon over Micha to get you to help you out in the situation. So find something of equal value.
You got it. It brings out the moderate healing potion. I don't have any money right now, but perhaps I could trade a drink for a drink. And just sets the potion down.
Roll a... Let me roll for something real quick. The bar does not accept it. Which is fucking odd considering that medicine is a huge thing. But again, everyone in this place doesn't look like they have the blood cell barnacle, so maybe medicine is not that important here.
Yeah. Well, okay. Oh, maybe haggling then. Presents the minor potion along with it. 2 drinks. Looks very proud
Persuasion
of
with
himself.
disadvantage.
5?
All right, let me roll for Cleva real quick. Why stop? Why stop at 1 drink when you could have 2 drink? It's not a healing potion. You have no idea what the fuck it is. It is an orange liquid in a beaker-shaped vial. And she puts it down on there. Not accepted by the bar.
Kind of just fumbles around, has the smoke wand, looks at it very sadly. I'm
gonna roll something for the bar real quick before you do that.
All right. Well, I was going to roll to see.
Money or nothing.
Well, I regret to inform you, barkeep, that I am fresh out of money at the moment.
Well, didn't you say?
Nothing it is.
Yeah. She's like, why don't you get one of your little mushroom friends? She like pulls up the hallucination of Micha as a cat. Get your mushroom friends to get us some money.
That's right. Like seeing the Micha image reminded him that he gave Micha all of his money. Micha! Micha! He just kind of
Micha just like turns like
yelling.
everyone. You all hear this
Like
now.
a lost child at the mall.
Yeah.
Wake's just trying to hold his cool at the dice table, and I was just, mother.
Micha just like looks up. It's just like, oh my god, no.
I'm just death
She just
gripping the Necrostar. Come on, shut up.
She just like
Micha!
she turns around and looks. Yes.
Micha, I believe you would love to become acquainted with my good friend Scariax Cleva.
Are you drunk?
Is that looks over at Cleva? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Yes, I am very drunk.
What do you need, Crow McGill?
Well, apparently it's the tradition to pay for drinks.
Just watches like her fucking face just like does the upside down U, and that's where we'll take a break.
All right.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the table. Looks like we've secured some passage via our boy.
Well, we have a couple of options to go for. You guys didn't know what Micha was up to too, but at
True
this
enough.
point, so we're still back at the card game. Let's try and like wrap them up as quickly as we possibly can. So. You just sat there talking to these gentlemen the entire time. They haven't really like they're still just speaking about like generic things, kind of like not really to keep you out, but just like, all right, well, listen, we kind of can't talk about shit. So
Yeah.
and you're not really pressing any further on that
No.
at this point. So how do you end this?
I think basically Morgan would be like, well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but it seems my time here is done.
As the fucking mushroom is screaming, Micha!
Hey, Micha!
Oh yeah, it's done.
Is that yours then?
Maybe.
Micha!
Long story.
So you get up from the table and head over to Chroma.
Yes.
Wake just scrapes in his winnings,
Just scrambled.
and he throws 25 gold to the table just to give me an even 800.
Alrighty.
Get yourself something to drink on me. Good game. I'll be sure to be in contact if I'm in need of your services.
Well, let us know as soon as you can, kid, because Obscuro's heading out tonight.
So I've heard. I'm gonna see if anybody else I know has gotten any other leads.
Micha!
It doesn't damage the ears, but it still hurts.
Oh, that's right. You have ears. That's weird. They rub their side fins. They're not ears. They're just fins.
Yeah.
So,
That's why you speak Aquan to them, because
Yeah.
the vibrations carry.
yep. So you get up and head over to Crow McGill.
Yeah.
Micha is there as well, just like trying to pacify you. But then fucking Cleva like grabs Micha and like ropes her arm around her neck and like draws her and like, we're all friends here. Micha is poofed up to all believe. She's just like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
Careful-
Get
careful.
the stone creature off me.
Scariax, please. Misha is a gentle creature. You might hurt her.
It's like the fucking snow leopard with the camera.
Yeah.
You must be Scariax.
If that's what your friend's calling me, my real name though is
Cleva.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
He's been talking to everyone.
Oh, that's right. When I speak, everyone who I have deemed to hear me can.
I feel so special right now, Crow McGill.
You really should. He's like kind of poking her, just being very like you.
What,
you
your
are-
finger like crunches each time because she's like a creature of stone.
But these are my friends. You should tell them what you told me. I think it'll make them all very happy.
Oh, I like to see if all of you are just as good as Crow McGill here. As she like puts her fingers in his eye holes and like droops down a little bit. He tells me you all are trying to get Sal Zealous, right?
Something like that.
I'm on the Obscuro, and I know they have people looking to see if they can get you in.
Well, I'd say I'm interested.
Oh, it's great. I am not.
I told you you'd like it.
Yeah, I can like talk to someone. I can't think about it right now, but I can talk to someone to get you guys on.
That'd be, real great.
But who is like Meech is just like pulling herself out, and who would that someone be as she's like cleaning herself off, like just fixing her clothing? Oh, the man right over there. She's pointing over to the card table that you were sitting at before. The captain's sitting there.
What did the captain have to say?
Oh, you didn't tell me that you ran into the captain.
I didn't know either. Which one
She
was?
points over to the dwarf.
Oh.
I heard we were looking for an elf.
Oh yeah, he rounds up. I know who he is. Wendell Sykes. That's the captain. Wendell Sykes is the guy who tries to get everyone on board. You see.
Ah.
Now everything makes sense. The minute I mentioned the moonlighting, they immediately shut up. But all this jibber jabber about the Yith and scars on their face, oh, they'll tell me like it's the hour of the day.
Hey, you kind of points at Cleva, didn't she? Had the mark also, didn't she?
No, she did not.
She didn't. Okay, I feel like I talked to someone who did. Who?
It was the guy, the bartender.
Bartender. That's right.
Bartender.
Hey, points to the bartender. Like that?
Yes.
He's not hiding it. It's on his cheek.
Yes.
It's a nice symbol. He's funny.
You can kind of understand what I was going through.
I guess.
So yeah, you were sitting at the captain's table. They're not going to talk about it out loud. Not Micha, I apologize. Micha, what she was working for, she was actually talking to someone who could get you guys in contact with Wendell Sykes. But the fact that Cleva just pointed out, there's the captain.
Just skip the middleman.
You could skip the middleman, but you don't know what he would offer if you're going to be blunt about it. But you know that the dead shrimps can get you on board for an extra pricing, though.
Yeah.
They don't work for the Obscura, but they know that they can get you on the Obscura because they kind of run this town.
And anything that leaves the port probably needs their go-ahead.
Yep.
Chromagale just pats Cleva on the back. I'm sure she could put in a good word for us.
I mean, I could with this axe too.
It's the scary, your scary axe, but it is
That's
your
right.
scary axe.
I'm Scary Axe.
Yes, you are, and yes, you have.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking terrifying as Meech is like ducking away from the fact that the giant Goliath woman with a giant war axe who's drunk is waving it around.
This entire scene looks like it's animated like in home movies to me.
Yeah.
The squiggle
Like
vision.
she's John McGurk.
Yeah.
Brendan.
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 Dreep.
Have you seen my axe, Brendan? It's really scary.
That's right, Brendan. It is a scary axe.
Fan artist, please. Please. Is Chromagale Brendan in this scenario?
He would have to be, right?
I guess.
No, is he Jason
I
or
was gonna
Brendan?
say Jason. I was gonna say Jason.
Oh, he might be Jason.
Yeah.
That's a very scary axe, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a very scary axe you have there.
Yep.
Which is funny
Anyway.
enough because they were both voiced by by Benjamin. That's great. So we have avenues now. Micha says that she was kind of pulled away from the scenario. She was pulled away from her conversation, so she can't get back in that now. So now you guys have one of two options. Speak to the captain. Well, actually, three options. Speak to the captain directly. Let the dead shrimps take care of the scenario, or let your intoxicated new Goliath friend take care of the problem.
Well, I like Cleva, so I think we should see what she can do.
Chromagale seems to have good judgment. Do you you want to sober up at all before chatting with him, or?
No, I mean, we only have like, I don't know, what time is it? You guys been here at like 1 o'clock until 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I mean,
Oh,
we
we
have a
have-
few hours.
I'm getting.
Wait, you have a few
Crunk at
hours,
1?
but
Chromagill doesn't know.
I guess it's true.
I mean,
not
I
open.
could sober up, I guess, but
I pop open a vial of bristle bean juice. Maybe this will help.
oh, fine. Okay, great.
I've never actually seen it work before. I'm just want.
What have you done?
I've done many things in my life, most of which I regret.
Actually, no, wait. I'm not gonna use this one. Where's the other? Oh, here it is.
Oh, where's the other one?
Yeah,
The
okay.
tragedy dice.
I'm not gonna use this one.
Not the treasure dice.
I'm gonna use this one.
Big die for big gal. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Well, she is now hyper and drunk.
Oh.
Oh, you've just added fuel to this fire.
Well, this will go really well. I mean,
Like gasoline
now she'll
to
be
a
really,
flame.
she'll be really talkative.
Hit the deck!
I just imagine Morgan Strong jumping to the ground. Everybody else is like,
She is jittering out of control from drinking this.
See, she's excited. She can't wait to tell everyone about how cool we are.
You hear a thunderous boom as she slams her hands on top of the bar top. By the way, her entire palm curls around the bar top.
big lady.
Sounds like a waterfall behind the fucking bar.
Oh, that again. This kind of takes a little step back.
Oh, that was a hearty one. Yeah.
Wake just kind of claps.
All right, I have a little bit of a headache now. I think I know what's going. Okay, well. All right, listen. I can, if you want me to, I can speak to the captain. Maybe. I don't know how much they're gonna ask me to pay for you to be on my behalf. I mean, she looks over at Micha. There's a couple, and she's a noble. Why didn't? There's a couple of other nobles that are coming along with us. They're probably gonna ask you for way more money if that's the case.
Well, if we're going to be paying a hefty price, would you mind showing us the ship we're going to be on? I mean, you know what it looks like, right?
She kind of like looks out. She walks over towards a window. You're looking out to the side. It's a very substantially large ferry. It looks like it used to be a Vorpal schooner. This boat looks like it was made basically for transport, so it doesn't look like there's a lot of comfort. And again, you guys are being smuggled out, so you're not going to have a lot of really good room and board. So probably the nobles are going to be the only ones that are actually able to afford such accommodations. It's kind of rickety. It's painted black. It looks like it's kind of like disheveled and a couple of pieces are broken off it. Like this thing has some wear and tear to it. It's mostly age more than it is like anything else.
Right. Like it's a decommissioned naval vessel.
Yeah,
that
it's an old decommissioned naval vessel, and it has wear and tear because it's been used to smuggle people out through the ocean.
Loved, as we would say in the used business.
Fair enough. It's been loved. Yes. Well, that's the ship right there.
Seems like a hardy vessel.
I've done this multiple times. This is probably my third time doing this.
Well,
I mean, work's not. They kind of have been taking away the spectacle of my job back at South Zealous, so I've been doing commission work on the side. Sorry, I'm starting to get my wits back about me.
well, if you're looking for any extra muscles or workers aboard the ship, I used to be the first mate aboard a, let's say, courier vessel.
I can respect that, though. I don't know. It was your job a little more bloodier than mine, I assume. Nom flashbacks in his head.
Yeah, well, he's got, I ain't no fortunate son. Playing his head. Maybe.
Well, if you looked armed to the teeth, most of you all do, so I assume most of you are not squeamish for blood.
I don't like to fight, but I can.
I'd like to see him fight one day.
It is a sight.
Well, so long as we leave under the cover of night or the cloak of day, while we're on the middle of the ship, while we're passing over by the canal, I think everything should be fine. It's normally a 3-day trip, and normally they just set out into deep waters to wait for either dusk or for dawn before we move into Zealous. Or at least close to it.
Well, that sounds like a good plan if we can get passage.
Well, I mean, last I remember that Wendell Sykes fella only asked for 25 apiece.
25 gold apiece?
Yeah. They don't... I suppose due to my stature and my job, I kind of spooked him into giving me the commoner's price. I mean, it's no noble's price, but it's economical.
Do you know where he might be?
I'm sure he's out getting the last few people. Let me double check my notes here because this is actually important info.
The other option I was running in my head is stowaway.
I mean, they normally have people who are actually going to be taking trips on the Oscuro head over to something called the Sea Ingot Inn. That's where most of the people who are going to get smuggled sleep before the night happens.
Sea Ingot Inn.
So long as you spend the night there, they'll know that you're taking refuge on the Obscuro.
Is that far away?
No, but it's still in the quarantine zone, so I hope you don't mind just sleeping in someplace that might be a little disheveled.
I've slept in worse.
Well, I can't speak for price, but I can at least explain to them the situation that I found more people, and I don't know, maybe they'll give me a reference? Or some kind of, like, finder's fee, a part of it? I am doing them a little bit of a service. I mean, the Obscuro is going to be full, but it's not too full as of right now. It only carries about 20 people per vessel.
Well, I don't need a lot of room to sleep.
I'm fine in any corner.
That's good, because they might just put you in the cargo hold.
It's dark and dank. You'd like it.
Oh!
Micha just is like looking left and right, just like, this sounds fucking horrible. How much is?
I'd love it.
No, Micha's
yells
a girl of
Chroma.
class. She's just like clutching her pearls, hearing that she's gonna sleep in the cargo hold. Like, fuck that shit.
Hearing dark and dank, Chroma Gill just yells, "I love it." No specific, context or anything to anyone else.
My large friend, what exactly would be the noble's fee? $1 grand apiece.
If you want to front that, I don't mind, Micha.
I have that, and then some. If it gets me back to that damn city, and it appeases the creature in my head speaking to me, then by all means, I will allow this.
Hooray!
All right, I won't have to sneak into a box. I mean, I wasn't planning on doing that. That'd be silly.
Well, I guess we can at least go back and inform Valtara about this. If we are going to leave this to your newfound friend here, then the most we can do is just head over to this Sea Ingot Inn and hope for the best.
Looks over at Cleva. Still pretty drunk. He hasn't had the the brew or the bristle bean coffee stuff. I'm trusting you. You're the first person I've made friends with outside of this circle and my home circle. So I'm trusting you.
I have a strong sense of justice, my friend. Don't worry, I'll see it done. She pats you on the cheek.
Okay. He has no reason to distrust her at this point. Nor the
So,
insight to attempt.
Who's gonna help carry the Pillsbury Doughboy large man out of the fucking bar drunk?
Oh boy.
I have a strength modifier. Does anyone else, except for the one that's already drunk? I will assist you in walking out.
Athletics check versus your. That's a good question. Let me see what I could do for you.
Oh, I'm fighting him on it.
Versus your.
Let me go.
Yeah.
I thought this was America.
Versus your athletics.
Oh, you,
Dice be strong.
You lucked out.
Did I?
8. Could have been a lot worse. I get a +6 modifier on that one.
Jesus Christ.
Oh wait, no, that's a. Oh wait, yeah, that is +6.
Okay, cool. Because I get a +4 modifier. That's a 10. Fine.
It's not pretty.
Oh boy.
It's not pretty getting him out. You're constantly getting pushed into tables, and you actually, like, Chromagil slams face first into the wall before going out the actual door.
I will give you this benefit though. Chromagil would apologize at every opportunity.
Great.
So just
Sorry.
so at least no one thinks he's being malicious about it.
I'm doing my best with, like, as I'm, like, trying to, like, get my arm around you to, like, just kind of mist your face with water.
Oh, that's really nice. I like that a lot, Blue Sky.
I figured.
Okay, so the fucking dead shrimp see you guys walking out with Chromagil sloshed.
Hey, it's you guys again. They can't hear me. They weren't in the bar.
I say in Aquan. It went well.
Yeah, we could see that. Come on, we'll drag you out before you make a scene. They escort you guys back outside to the out of the quarantine zone.
Yeah, I inform them of our need to get back in and into the Sea Ingot Inn at some point.
They give you a time where the crowd is less rowdy on the docks. So around maybe 10 o'clock at night is your best bet so that you can get into the quarantine zone without issue. Mitra can get you through the front door. Dealing with the riots was what was going to happen with you guys if you went back inside, but the dead rabbits pretty much tell you, come around this time at night, you'll be fine.
All right, as long as they haven't left by then, we should be fine.
The ship leaves at...
Midnight?
No, the ship doesn't leave around midnight. Ship is going to leave around, like 11:30, something like that. So, like, maybe you guys have a half hour before
30
making it.
minutes to midnight.
So we head back to the tavern and inform Voltara, and I scrub myself vigorously in a tub.
Valtara has returned from the library or like the magic shop, just like reading up on a bunch of other things, and she finds out about this Yith. She discovers that the Yith have actually made a physical appearance to people before, but they change their appearance to best suit the people that are around them, so no one exactly knows what exactly they look like. However, they are a conduit for the abyss of the deep sea with the surface dwellers. So they're kind of like a lookout, keeping the peace between the surface and the darkness of the ocean. Though again, they don't show themselves for unknown reasons. Like, no one knows what they are, but when they do appear themselves, apparently the people who carry the symbol around they're very they believe it, so you don't know if this is taken at face value or if this is some kind of fucking scam that just was stuck for the longest time.
Neat.
All right, and with that, is there anything else you guys want to do before heading out? Oh, by the way, Micha pays your tab, so that's $100, so you only get 100 out of your share.
That's fine. Money has little value to one such as Chroma. Although now that he knows what alcohol does, he might have a reason to keep it.
The finest dragon whiskey. So you guys pretty much have one more... we have a couple of hours to do anything else before you head back into the quarantine zone.
I suppose the only place we didn't visit previously was the magic shop.
Yeah, none of us visited. I think only Voltara.
Voltara did that.
Yeah, Voltara did that, and she was the one who told you about the stick, the smoke wand. Let me double check and see if there was anything else that she found of value that would be useful to you guys.
Real quick for me, I don't know how Mike can sober up. How am I gonna be doing for the rest of this day with how much I just consumed there in the
Roll me
afternoon?
another con save.
That's right. It was the smoke one. Then there was that blue beetle scarab thing that you like attach to yourself, and it gives
Yes.
you like a benefit.
Yep.
16 is my con save.
Which actually was a Yith token. So it has something to do with the Yith.
How much was that one?
Let me double check that for you. Because I don't know if I have the information out already. Necrostar, Waxwing, blah, 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 blah. Living Wear. Here we go. Yith Scarab. A living metal trilobite that when applied to the flesh of a creature, depending on the body part of the scarab that is applied, will apply double proficiency bonus to a skill of the DM's choice. If the scarab is forcibly removed, it releases a psychic shock that to place instant. I apologize. Release a psychic shock to the place it was applied to, instantly dropping the user unconscious. The scarab releases itself after 12 hours, in which it will take another 12 to reuse.
Does the user have to be willing?
Yes.
Damn.
Can't just be like, ha, ha!
I was thinking about weaponizing it.
Yeah, no, the Yith scarab, the creature has to be willing to put it on it.
Gotcha.
That would cost you 15 hundo.
Nah, I don't have that much anyway, so.
All right. Yeah, the Yith Scarab was kind of a thing where it's like, hey, you should probably buy this now, sort of dealio, before you. Yeah, it was like
Right.
It was during your shopping trip, so you could still go to the magic shop and pick up like magic scrolls, maybe some magic wands, maybe a quarterstaff that has charges, stuff like that.
I think I'm pretty good as far as my loadout is concerned, I think.
Anyone else?
I think I'm good.
Chromagill is mostly interested in recovering from this afternoon.
So what did you roll for?
16. was my-
16? Yeah, you sober up. So pretty much your crown like bleeds out the alcohol
Okay.
and you're pretty much cured of it.
Was I doing anything strange? A lot of this afternoon is fuzzy. I know I met Scary Axe, and well, she seemed pleasant.
You're doing fine, Chromagill. It's
Yeah,
nice to be.
you're
It's,
fine.
it's nice to have you back at a normal volume, though.
What?
You're welcome.
Sorry, just now I have to fix my notes. I apologize.
No
you're
worries.
good.
My bad for asking.
No, don't. You're
How
apologizing.
dare we question the DM?
Yeah,
of the
how dare you
universe?
question the item? So whatever.
I don't know.
It's fine. Alright, this is the old.
That does remind me,
info.
though, I never named that great club I got. So my first battle with it will be where it is christened.
All right. So you guys take whatever time you have left to just relax, like sober up, eat, drink, get your provisions ready. You take the route that was directed to you by the dead shrimps. It takes you up to a very rickety, very broken and disheveled inn. There are a bunch of people sitting at not a bar but like a table. These are all the people who are going with you at this point. There's a bunch of different folk here, and I will have to describe them to you because this will be very important. You guys see as follows. These are the commoners, by the way. The nobles were actually sequestered off into a different location.
I thought we paid for that one. Never mind.
Well, these are people sitting down at the table. Like they
Gotcha.
don't know yet what you're doing here. For all you know, you could be a cop just here to raid the place.
I do have my badge ready.
If they ask, we have to tell them.
There is a male and female with an female infant gnome. There are two sea elves here. One who is a commoner, one who is a male commoner, and a female noblewoman. There is a human sitting here who is also a noble as well. He's kind of looking over a bunch of blueprints and sitting down and talking with the sea elf. There is a very old-looking commoner, dwarf. He looks very, very aged. His beard is gray, very scraggly, and one of his arms is actually replaced with a metal claw. There is a sea elf. The sea elf who I was talking about is actually taking account and like writing down information, talking to people.
There is Cleva is sitting there at the commoner's table. There is also a water genasi, which, if you don't know what a water genasi is a humanoid that is completely is completely made up of another plane's material. So since you're on Kelpie, she is a water genasi. So she was a humanoid made of pure water. Or at least has the essence of water.
Is it a familiar water genasi or somebody that Wake has not met? The only one that he knows is in the Navy.
No, she's a humanoid. So she's an element. They're elemental humanoids, basically. So it's kind of like
we met.
Arahati, I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Arahati, but not Arahati.
Okay, not her. Gotcha.
And there is also a female tiefling who is sitting at the. She's kind of like sitting in between. She's just kind of like sitting there, like playing with a small lute to herself, and she's sitting at a table all the way to the back. She's kind of kept to herself. She has very long, dark hair that flows down to her backside, and she looks very exotic. Like she does not belong in any of the setting whatsoever. She is not a coastal person.
Well, Chromagil would immediately start moving towards Cleva if she was there.
Yeah, Cleepa's sitting there. She just like kind of waves you down. Hey, there he is.
Hello! Hi! I feel much better now. I don't know exactly how this afternoon went. I apologize retroactively.
You got drunk. Why are you apologizing for that? That was a good time.
Oh, okay. It's not something my circle ever did, so I wasn't sure if it was
Mitra just kind of looks over at
inappropriate.
Cleva and just goes, don't encourage him. And then everyone turns and looks back and sees Valtara, and everyone's taking a gasp by her because she's the alien in the room here at this point.
This is my other friend. Scary Axe meet Valtora.
You struggled to say that, dear, as Valtara kind of like pats you on the head.
It's been a long day.
Cleva actually like stands up like height to height. She like the top of her head is at Valtara's nose. That's how tall she is. She's like sizing her up, like trying to like pretend like she wants to fight, and Valtara's just like, what are you doing? Like she's obviously has an axe to grind with her because of the fact of her size.
How dare you be bigger?
Yeah, she's kind of like having that same complex you were having, so you and her both agree that size is kind of important, and Valtara is just unfortunately the tallest one here. She's just like, I don't give a shit. At this point, you guys are pretty much like one of the sea elf who was taking notes kind of like walks over to you. So I don't mean to be rude, but why are you here? Are you here to stay the night? You don't look sick.
We're here for the same reason a lot of these people are here, I'm guessing.
You're here for the Obscuro then.
There we go. Cool. Glad we can just say it out in the open. Fine.
I'm sorry. I just had to be sure. Miss Cleva was kind of insistent that a giant mushroom fella would be coming this way, and I kind of saw that as a bit of a joke.
That must be me. Hello.
He can't hear you.
Oh, you're right. Gets ready to sneeze if anyone's gonna stop him.
No,
Wake's used to it.
The woman who is holding the infant kind of just like covers her, and the guy who's standing next to her, the gnome, like holds up his pistol, like, don't you fucking do it. He points his pistol at you, and the rather old, crusty gentleman with a claw arm holds his claw up, like ready to have at you.
Kind of stop sneezing. I did a little perception check. I was gonna say if it's over 10, I'm gonna notice all this shit. I do. Just kind of sits back down. Kind of does like the more subtle scrape action to kind of just get it.
Mitra kind of just like looks to everyone else who's kind of concerned. It's just like, it's all right. It's just his way of making communication. You tell that bleeding thing to not sneeze on anyone. We got a youngin' here who might be having a case of the blight.
Kind of does like a little nod, like a sorry, apologetic head nod.
Like the gnome gentleman kind of like winces at that and like tries to cover his wife up with her child. Like standing in front of her. It's like
inform the gentleman that I won't spread my spores too thickly. I'll keep them away from the child.
He'll keep them away from your child. Is it
you best.
Is it the same as what everybody else out here has?
We hope not.
Well,
Micha is just like, oh, her ears perk up at hearing that. She's not going to like open that fucking jar of bees at this moment, but she takes note of that. She's just like, oh, we have a sick infant on the boat. That's gonna cause issues. So the sea elf gentleman who actually addresses himself as Whittle Sykes sits you all down to just introduce yourself to the rest of the people, as they all want an account of who everyone is. So you guys all introduce yourselves, and I will go down the list of who each person says they are, and get ready because you might need all this info. The gnome gentleman calls himself Marlowe Deeproot, and Deeproot goes for his wife as well. His wife, Lamoa, and their daughter, Cam. The sea, Oh, there are 2 sea elf commoners. I apologize. The other sea elf commoner is known as Manning Holger. Manning, Holger. The dwarf addresses himself as Byford Cardack. Byford Carddax. And then you have Wendell Sykes. You have Cleva. She already introduced herself to you guys, but she'll do so for the rest of the party. The Water Genasi Noble. That's who it was. That's what I got confused. The Water Genasi is the noble.
Gotcha.
The Water Genasi is a noble, and the other human is a noble. Nelda she doesn't give herself her name. She's like, Micha will go introduce herself to that point. And the tiefling calls herself Bliss. That is her stage name, and she's sticking to it. And then Whittle Sykes also tells you guys about the ship you're going to be on. You will all be fed. So for each 3 days, you will have food and water. Bedding will not be provided, as most of the commoners will be staying in the cargo hold. They unfortunately could not pay the huge stipend of 1,000 gold pieces to get themselves an actual room. That is what the nobles will be getting. So Micha will be paying for her own thing.
Oh, okay. So when Micha said she had that, she was like, I'll pay for me.
Yeah.
You guys get to hang. Okay.
Micha is going to pay for herself.
Initially, I read that or heard that as a, like, I have enough for everybody. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no, she's doing it for herself. I'm sorry.
Makes more sense.
It's whatever.
Micha will do that. She starts talking to the other folk. Weddle Sykes asks her to give her information. The sea elf, I apologize, the Water Genasi, who is also another noble. She calls herself Nelda Faeloon. Nelda Faeloon. And the human, looking over all of his blueprints, is called Teddy Slog. Slorg. I need everyone to roll a history check when the name Slorg comes up.
Damn it. Oh, wow.
8.
A slorg must have walked through my woods. 18.
6.
What'd you get?
8.
8.
18.
You remember a couple of your little folk of your circle found a crate or a abandoned cart in the middle of the woods and brought it back to the circle. Slorg is actually a very huge name that has been found on a box filled with weaponry. The Slorgs are weapon dealers.
Okay. I've communicating with the. I haven't spread my spores to everybody, so I guess this is mostly just the party.
Yep.
I believe I've heard the name Slorg on a crate found in my woods by my circle. They seem to deal in weaponry.
Micha just kind of looks to you all. That's a little unfortunate. They are
quite pompous and very cutthroat in their business practices. They make weapons into a sort of sport for the higher class. I was never a fan of it. I found it barbaric, but to each his own in their own game, that is the commerce.
By the way, just since it has been 24 hours since, have the gloves that I've gotten attuned to me yet?
Yes.
Okay. Do I feel any different?
Alrighty. Unfortunately, unless you...
You do!
Oh,
Unfortunately, unless you activate them, you have no idea.
I don't know how to do that.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is unfortunately going to be needed of someone who has an identification spell.
Fair enough. Probably should.
Which I believe, if you speak up about it, I think Valtara has identify.
All right. I was gonna say probably something I should have done at that magic shop, but
Let me double check Valtara. No, unfortunately, Valtara does not have identify.
We've got plenty of people on this boat to talk to. Maybe one of them knows.
So, at this point, you guys have been introduced to any of the characters. You still have a couple hours to kill. Would you like to speak to anyone in particular?
I'm gonna go.
I believe, actually, I'm sorry to cut you off on
No
that,
worries.
but I think it might actually be prudent of us to roll initiative to see who goes what first.
Cool with me. 21.
20.
9.
All right, so Nick, you're up first. Anyone on this list you'd like to talk to first? They're not. I'll just say this: the nobles, like, they will talk to you. They look like they still will talk to you, but you know you're a commoner, so unless you present yourself as a noble, they're probably gonna look at you very weirdly.
I'm gonna put my noble badge back on. I'm gonna go sit down with Mr. Slorg.
All right. Well, let's see. I put all my papers away. Here we go.
Actually, no. I'm gonna go over to the male and female gnome with the baby.
All right, the deep roots.
Yeah, the deep roots.
Marlo
and Lamoa.
Marlo looks very high-strung, looking like he's just not having the best day ever, and he's just trying to make sure that his wife and daughter are pretty much on the up and up. He looks very they look very concerned over the well-being of their baby who is sleeping right now.
Hey, you guys, just trying to get away from the sickness, I guess.
You'd be right, sir. No place for a carpenter and a housewife with a child who's around to a child who can be susceptible to the plague.
How long has your baby been showing symptoms? Cam, was it?
Yes, our daughter Cam, she's been running a fever for the past couple of days. It's been getting worse and worse each day, and this is about a week now. I've been saving up all my money to at least be able to afford us a way out of here.
Do you mind if I took a look?
He's very, very shaky about that.
I promise I come from a temple and right.
Roll a persuasion with advantage.
Let's see, that was 10 versus Nat 20 with that advantage.
He still stands by his wife's side, but they show you the child.
All right, I just wanted to run a quick medical check on the baby.
Roll it. Go ahead.
That is a 16.
You don't even need to place your hand close enough to feel the heat just emanating from her head. This kid's running a really bad fever.
All right, well, I'm gonna.
She looks like her breathing is haggard, like she's coughing a little bit in between intervals of breathing.
All right, well, I'm going to basically mist the baby a little bit, just trying to cool it down some.
I mean, you pretty much just like assured the guy that you were like a follower of Kelpie. So with that kind of, you have devotion to Kelpie in some way. So with that in mind, he's just like, okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
So you're just like settling down the kid's fever, giving her a little bit of a spritz, giving like her fever, like, yeah, just like rubbing the water on her forehead. You feel you can actually like see a little bit of the heat evaporating the water from her face, but the coolness of the water is dripping down her face, that it's relieving to her. Like, she doesn't look like she's squirming as much anymore.
Yeah, I essentially like just kind of give them kind of like a wet rag to help the baby cool down, and I give them the remaining bottle of my medicine.
Which medicine?
It was the medicine that we found in the forest that was used to...
Yigberry juice?
Yeah, the yigberry juice, milk, whatever it was.
That'll actually sustain a good chunk of health for this child. The Marlowe kind of like looks at the vial that you give him and asks you what exactly it is.
It's extract from a very ancient and powerful berry known as a yigberry. I'd recommend not giving too much at a time, but I feel like in small doses, this might help your baby.
You seem to be walking in with a doctor in tow. Would she vouch for this?
Her name's on the bottle.
They don't know. They didn't know that.
Yeah, I tell them that.
Very well. Let's have it then. I thank you. How much do I owe you?
Nothing. Just take care of the child.
I'm going to run a medicine check plus 10. 24.
I was going to say nat 1. God damn it, they killed the baby.
Well, I was waiting for you to do your medical check. Nat 20, you know exactly what's wrong and how to cure it. Like, this baby's gonna be fine.
They start like drip feeding the medicine into the baby's mouth. She's kind of like slowly like nipping, like gumming at it. Her face no longer looks as red as it used to. She still kind of has a little bit of a haggard cough, but that fever has been reduced significantly.
Wake smiles.
The mother begins crying, like she's like happy crying at the fact that like her kid doesn't look like it's in agony at the moment.
Yeah.
Bless you, sir. Thank you.
No problem.
The mother looks up at you like, I apologize, I should get her name. Lamona looks up at you and just goes, I'd hug you, but I don't want to jostle the child.
Wake holds up his hand. Think nothing of it.
Well, Marlowe doesn't look as strong anymore, as he's now like seeing that his daughter is not on the verge of like barely breathing. With that, we will now move over to Mr. Morgan. Who are you gonna talk to?
Buy yig milk.
Well, let's see. Going down the list. Bless you.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go see Mr. Slorg.
all right. Mr. Slorg and Mrs. Fayloon are now talking to Micha as they stop and turn to look at you.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I'm with her.
It's
Gestures at
true. Micha just looks over. It's true. No, it's true. Mr. Morgan is one of mine.
You must be Mr. Slorg.
Of course, the one and only Mr. Slorg. Like this man's like blonde, slick back hair. He's wearing suspenders and a button-up shirt. This guy just looks like he's business, but fun business. He's got a fucking red tie.
Oh god, he's Marvin Acme.
Yep, he's Marvin Acme.
I knew that name was familiar.
I see that you probably have either watched one of our fine festivals or purchased one of our fine weapons.
You might say that. Just gently places my pistol on the table.
One of yours, I believe, for the military.
Standard issue flintlock. We used to make these quite some time ago, and then we made the T series. Very good. Helped a lot with culling a couple of riots or so. Made a fun new invention. We kind of, when the T series is going to be released, it'll give some dragon's breath with a pepper box.
Interesting.
It's going to be fun.
By the way, where are my manners? Morgan Strong.
And you already know who I am. He like takes your hand like in a jovial manner and shakes it up and down very vigorously.
Nice to see someone with some optimism on this boat.
Oh, of course. I just came on over here to see if someone would want to take interest in my blueprints. No. Unfortunately, that's a secret, son.
Fair enough.
I told you about the pepper box, you see. I just came here to see if I could find a little bit of test subjects to prove it on.
Uh-huh.
All through legal means, of course.
Right.
I mean, there were a couple of gator boys that I saw in town that I had them go fish up a few of the local wildlife to test it out.
Big fella.
Ah, yes, with a twang straw hat.
The one that's just, now, son.
That'd be the one.
Met those folk. Very nice. Very interesting. Forgive me for my intrusion, Mr. Slog, but I was just curious of why someone of such a, forgive the pun, high caliber as you would be on a smuggling vessel to the canal.
Well, it'd be either this or walk my way over to right, and quite frankly, I'm a very busy man and I don't have the time, so paying a little bit of a squabble schooler just to get me on over back home as quickly as possible, now that's efficiency.
That it is. That it is. Sorry for the intrusion. It's just you look familiar, and I never expected to see someone who supplied the military. On this boat.
You see, son, that's my little bit of a problem. The military has a little bit of a stranglehold when it comes to not having any magic materials, so that's why I came out here to test out this little pepper box invention of mine. I need some proof before the goddamn Ledgermain will let me have my ways of putting in the pepper box into their armaments. Oh, but those high elves are very, very stern. Mr. Lockwood is a very firm grip on the military's weapon proficiencies.
Should I be rolling anything?
What do you want to roll?
I mean, you're from the north, right?
Yeah. Let me do a history roll. real
Go ahead.
quick. Let me see here.
With disadvantage, you're not from the south.
Damn it.
Although I guess the Navy runs both north and south, right?
There are two different branches. There's South and North Zealous.
Of course, first roll was a 19, second one was a 1.
You ain't know that name?
Nope.
Nope.
Natural wonder.
Nope.
Nope.
Thought I knew something.
And like that, the Lockwood name was so easily dismissed and forgotten.
so good.
It's like something just,
I just go
flooded out in my mind.
I just go chameleon-eyed for a second. Oh, nope. Thought I knew that name.
Nah, unfortunate. But I do see that you have a rather antiquated, I must say. Unfortunately, with us going to South Zealous, if I were to tune up your gun for a little bit of a price, you might be arrested on the spot.
Well, it's all I have left.
Ah, sentimental values, I see.
You could say that. Anywho, I won't keep you from your time, Mr. Slord.
Oh, no. Actually, one moment, a second. He kind of like reaches like into his pocket and he hands you a small box. While I can't give you perhaps the entire gun, but I possibly could give you a little bit of a test fire run when it comes to the ammunition. These will run on smaller, maybe more more antiquated guns, shall we say. But I promise you this. You ever seen a gun fire chromatic orb? We'll now have it in bullet form, as a gift from good old Teddy Slog.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Slord.
Yep, I did say his name right. Good, I got my own lore. Yep. He gives you a box of 6 bullets that, when loaded into your gun, will fire a chromatic orb at level 1.
Getting Final Fantasy Unlimited vibes.
Please call me Teddy Slog. Theodore is my father.
I'll just call them chromatic rounds.
Yep. Yeah, just call them like C-type bullets.
6 of them?
Yep.
Bullet, C-type.
Now, I'll just warn you, son. Don't go shooting this around anyone from the Ledgermain.
They'll kill you.
Noted.
I want to make sure my patent at least goes through before any problems arise.
Oh, patent pending, I see.
That damn Lockwood just will not let me through. I will have those notes, by golly. It was hard enough getting an arena in the middle of town. Oh, that's right, son. You're, well, based on this type, you're probably from the north. Let me tell you this. I probably could give you tickets to a show.
Oh.
Here you go. Actually, one on me. He hands you a ticket. That'll get you 1 admission to the Teddy Slog Arena, where we test all our weaponry.
Huh.
And show it to the public for a nominal fee.
Well, thank you kindly, Mr. Slorg.
Hey, you have a good one now. He returns back to his conversation with Micha and the Sea and the Water Genasi.
Melda.
With Nelda, yep.
I wrote notes.
No, that's fine.
Keeping track.
Chromagill.
Forgetting how to pronounce this gentleman's name, but the Elder Dwarf Byford?
Yep.
Byford?
Byford Kardak.
Chromagill will head towards the oldest and most grizzled-looking person on this ship, and I assume that's him.
Yep.
From how
He
you
is.
described him.
This man is sitting at is still sitting at the table, kind of like slumped over. In his hand is a bottle of rum.
Assuming the non-hooked one.
The non-hooked one, yes. And and with the other hand, it's actually bigger than his arm. Slumps it on the table, and just like you watch, it's like the 3 little prong claws just go.
I'm gonna sleight of hand this gent. Like, I'm basically going to be walking past him and then trying to sit next to him.
You know.
But as I'm walking past, I'm going to sleight of hand some spores on him so I can talk to him.
Go
'Cause
ahead.
I haven't done that yet. 12.
He doesn't notice.
All right. Just does a little sprinkle as I'm walking by. Take a seat.
Take a seat down. He looks over at you. What the fuck are you supposed to be?
Hello, my name is Chromagill, sir. What could... I believe we've been introduced already. Byford, was it?
Yeah, that's right. He takes his claw. Oh, right. Damn it. Takes his hand.
It's a fascinating appendage you have there. My people, we're kind of averse to metal, so I don't see it very often. But this prosthetic seems quite formidable. What happened?
I'll tell you what happened, son. I was but 2 days from retirement. God damn it. I was 2 days from retirement from the Navy and the Legerdemain. When all of a sudden, that onrush nonsense happened. And then up from the north, a bunch of pirates came swooping on in and started attacking a coastal line. Fought them off as much as we could. But apparently one of them sons of bitches had themselves a gremlin.
Rapscallions.
Held up my pistol, took a shot, and well, there goes the arm. And this is all they had to give me for 90 years of service. An old, antiquated, almost inoperable arm for a dying old man who served his country.
It's a horrendous pity how people treat the elderly in this culture. From where I'm from, the eldest is normally the most respected and celebrated of the beings around.
Aye, well,
here.
your people are quite the right ripe ones, I tell you.
I'm glad to hear it, sir. I was the sovereign of my circle. I was perhaps the oldest of the group I was with, so I understand this.
Ah, good. Us elders need to stick together then.
Indeed. I imagine you have some fascinating tales, what with your age and all, that you've probably traveled many, many waters and many, many lands. What's the most exciting story to tell?
Tell me, son. I don't know much about, well, you're a sovereign, you say. I guess your folk tend to keep to whatever forest or cave you're kind of sprawled out of. Don't worry. I was born in the Underdark myself.
Ah, yes, the darkness. None of my companions seem to enjoy it as much as I do, but it's just nice to be cozy and have a roof over your head.
You know, I did happen to see one of your folk from once upon a time. I don't know if this is true, but I know there were creatures that went by a different name, and you'll have to forgive me if old Byford's going a little on the off-beaten path, but you know anything about a creature called a funglet?
Chromagill kind of gets a little more stern, not so much, like, it's not a shock to him, but he hasn't heard that in a while. A funglet, you say?
Aye, lad, a funglet.
I've had the displeasure of meeting a few. They're a rude group, much different from my circle and the mushrooms I run with. However, I can understand your confusion, but I'm not one of their kin, no.
Very well. It's like when the humans come up to us and go, "Oh, you're elves, aren't you?" "No, you wee staff fucking bastard. We're from the mountains and them elves are from the forest. How do you get them confused?"
Dwarves are from mountains, elves are from forest. Great. Thank you. That I'm sure that will save me some confusion later. I apologize,
But anyway, let me tell you stories, lad. I got one tale that might be interesting to you.
You know, since you've said that you have folks, you knew about the Underdark in some cases. Ever heard of them Illithids, then?
A 10 history check? No.
Nope.
I'm afraid you've caught me at a loss, sir.
Too coastal, unfortunately.
They don't seem to come near where I would live.
That would make sense, lad, but... Legend, let me tell you something. I hear tell that there's an underground cavern that leads all the way from the ocean. There's a bunch of archipelagos out there with just a bunch of caves that lead into the Underdark that's not touched by the ocean. That's an underground tunnel that leads into a entire cavern filled with unknown treasures. And then right back up to the surface in Las Aranas.
So a tunnel that leads to incredible treasure and then right back out to the surface?
Indeed. We were told to take care of some Illithids, and unfortunately me and my crew ended up lost inside the caverns. And we came back with one of those treasures.
What was it?
He kind of like lifts up his ear and he shows an earring.
Just that your ear, the little bit of jewelry?
Aye, lad. This is a gem from the Underdark. It holds untold wields of power in it. Old Byford used to use it back in the days of the war.
What sort of power did it wield?
Let me show you, lad. You got something to... He like takes a swig. You got something to throw?
Pulls out his minor healing potion.
Nah, I don't want to be wasting your drink, lad. Like a rock or something. Something sturdy. Maybe like a rock.
Didn't really carry any rocks with him, but kind of finds like a stiffer part of his like fungal growths that just kind of
Medical.
uh, 11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay, you rip off a piece.
Just find a chunk of me and just set it down.
You watch as the gemstone begins to glow a faint purple. He flings it like a discus, and it starts flying in place, still in the spinning motion. Psychic rocks.
That's very impressive.
Aye, lad. There's a whole cache of the stuff down there, but we were only able to walk away before the Illithids showed up.
Would you... Kind of like leans in closer, even though he's telepathically talking, so there's no such thing as a whisper for this guy, but
Yeah.
he knows that this is how business is sometimes dealt.
Even though we can all hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Would you divulge the location of these tunnels? I may be able to gather a party and find more of this.
Ah, you feel adventurous, do you?
I do love to travel, yes.
Now tell me, lad. You got yourself a vessel that can lead you out into deep waters, close to Barnacle Bay?
Well, not on me, but our goal is to procure a vessel, and I believe we're about to set sail, so maybe.
Just ask your friends or whatever crew you start to work with. Ask them if they'll take you to Barnacle Bay. They'll give you the answer you seek.
All right, well, thank you. I'll be sure to pass that knowledge along. You're such a gracious sailor. Your wisdom is beyond your years, advanced though they may be.
Thanks, lad. It's good to hear someone tell praises of the elderly more than just kick them to the side.
Of course, that's... Sir, you are very well respected among me and my circle. That I can assure you.
I'll drink to that. Oh, here. He hands you the bottle.
Is this whiskey?
Nah, lad, it's rum.
Well, I first had whiskey earlier today. Is it similar to that? Or is it different?
Ah, far different taste, lad.
Oh, well, if it's different, then don't mind if I do. Just takes a big old gulp, I guess, with his finger.
Con save.
Uh-oh. Not quite as good. 10?
You just barely pass it.
Okay.
You gulp it down.
Oh,
It is indeed a different taste.
that is... You are correct. That is different.
Cleva kind of like sits next to you. Are you gonna share that? You have 2 new drinking buddies, and that's where we'll close for the night. Making friends, Chromagill.
Chromagill's great at making friends. Everybody loves Chromagill.
Did not expect that.
Before we go, we do have fan art set
We
up?
do. Let me go
awesome.
ahead and get the page up real quick. My phone
Yeah.
is dying. I have to buy a new one soon.
Mine too. Like, they fucking brick them after however many years you have them. Like, I have the Pixel 1. I know they just released the 3. I think it's every 2 generations. Like, it's good.
This
it
is
won't let
a-
me hold a, like
Like a charge for very long?
no, not even that. It won't let me set my background anymore. Whenever I set my background, it just goes this weird color blob.
Well, mine is 8 years. Mine is an iPhone 7 that's 8 years old, and the battery life drains by 15 to 25% every 5 seconds.
Well, then, let's get through this.
All right, first picture
Look at that boy.
from Artsy Joe 94.
Vape Nation.
You know it. I love the vapors. I don't know.
Looking good there, Chrome McGill.
God damn it, Cromagill. Thank you so much.
Thanks, kindly, Artsy Joe.
Next up, Juliefish.
Never speak to me or my child again.
Man, I wonder what happened to Gentle. I wonder, chat.
She's out there
I wonder,
somewhere.
chat. I wonder, chat.
There's a war happening, and she's just having a fucking field day.
She's having a blast.
Oh, business.
Speak to me or my daughter again. Oh, but Dad.
Business is good.
Business is great. She should join the war.
Wars are great.
Wars are just fucking awesome.
They're so fun to end, but even more fun to start.
Pretty much. That's her whole deal. Thank you so much. Next up. From Inkamame.
And you guys want a latte?
yeah, Wade just brought the fucking coffee for all the dead shrimp.
You guys want something to drink?
I feel like this, you know what I
shit's
see
good.
this as? I see this as the plan that could have gone awry.
Man, I'm really the more I'm thinking about it, just shoving that smoke wand into just my gills and just letting it filter out, just as an intimidation move, just walking forward would be pretty good.
I love that it looks like a vape pen. Just,
Yeah, just. Hey, are you guys feeling good?
It's also almost like an album cover too, like one of those classic '70s rock ones.
Yep.
Just call them Dead Men Walking.
what's up, fellow teens?
I'm dank like my woods.
And there's Morgan just holding on to the NecroStar.
Ready to rip some dank clouds?
Thank you so much. Next up, another from Juliefish.
Word.
Hey, Morgan. Morgan.
No, it's Morgan's time.
It's Morgan's time now. We have a lot of Morgan fan art this
Awesome.
come around.
I like the shading on that morning star.
Oh,
Like, it just
yeah.
looks really cool to me.
I love
I never-
love his done with this shit expression.
I never really gave a unique personal descriptor for the NecroStar other than the fact that it's just an obsidian morning star. So whatever people want it to be. I know you drew something actually over the course of the episode. Mm-hmm. Next up, Bangarangalico.
Finally, some goddamn peace and quiet.
I like to imagine that like little tip that's near the side of his temple is digging into his flesh. Peace and quiet.
Get them out!
Now, if he embedded a piece of the Necro Star in himself, is it like he's always holding it?
Or would the NecroStar then be broken?
Oh no!
Who knows? That's a good question. Will you experiment with that, Brian?
And risk damaging it?
Hell yeah.
Awesome stuff, Bangarang. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Skadran in 01.
Yes.
Love that.
Loved these on Friday.
I love Voltara's design. That's great.
It's so good.
Morgan just, he looks like something that might be voiced by Bryan Cranston.
Chromagill is just. He like gives me like a classic cartoon alien, just the big,
Yeah,
kind of like the big
gray.
head. And
Yeah,
just
he's
the
a gray.
Yeah, man,
eyes.
this Invader Zim style is great. I love it. I also love Voltar. Just like, I just gonna write this down.
Oh, she looks like she's 80 years old. But
She looks like she's about to Mr. Magoo her way through everything.
Yeah.
Oh, here I go, guys. I'm gonna spell
Oh, here we go. These people need to learn how to drive.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up,
Village hidden in the cigs.
from August Omen.
Yeah, village hidden in the smoking section.
I'm just here airing myself out. Don't mind me.
So Chromagill at the back of a Starbucks.
Oh
I
god.
can't stop.
I need this.
God, ever since he's been introduced to society, he's picked up smoking and
Drinking.
Chroma
God
Gill, the
damn it, is he a
constant
social
vice.
butterfly?
We are terrible influences on our poor mushroom boy.
Man,
They
imagine.
say it's a disease, Micha. just shoving the smoke wand up his gills.
Man,
I need it.
the stories he's gonna tell back to his fucking circle. All the fucking tiny mushrooms just picking up cigarettes from the fucking 7-Eleven, ye old 7-Eleven.
Did you hear Tall Cap? Chroma Gill's having a Nick fit. We gotta get
I bring you the glory that is alcohol.
drink and be merry, my people.
They're
Why are you
dead.
shriveling up?
They're dead by next year. What have I done?
Next up,
This was supposed to bring balance.
Chibi Cromagill from Sheen. It's very hard to actually. Here we go. SL True SHDOL Lord.
True Shadow Lord.
True Shadow. Oh, duh. Listen, papers. My
hey,
eyes
trust
hurt.
me.
Okay.
Trust me, man. I especially when they're written out in like part acronym, part leet. It happens.
Yeah. Thank you so much, though. This is adorable.
Love his face. And I like the I love seeing how different people are interpreting he has colorful gills under his cap, like whether it's just like a kind of a circular pattern out or like you can see the different
striations,
veins.
yeah.
Strands.
Like I love seeing how people
Man, the cap is just a
Take
fucking
that.
kaleidoscope. That's all I see it. Thank you so much. Next up,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
From,
we took a look
uh,
at this on Friday.
yep, from Haunted Toaster.
Good
many-
looking stuff. Like
The many
that.
faces
I love,
of Cromagill.
Chromagill.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
me.
Cro
Shit.
Morgan.
Fuck.
I love the shading on these things, especially like the difference between the angry face and the sad face.
There are, they do have pictures of the black and white version of all three of them. But, you know, I kind of figured the complete version would be the better one to put on
Makes
here.
sense.
the
to me.
color does a lot for this image, I think
Yeah.
also.
Awesome stuff. Like that could be like a book cover.
Man, what the fuck are they gonna say the moment he drops the Necro Star?
Where have you been? We have
God.
so much to update you on.
God. It gets knocked out of my hand. No!
I was so scared and alone.
How did you not pick up that was the captain?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
He's just in the field position, just crying at the end.
Give me back the Necro Star!
Give it back!
Awesome.
Man, it's gonna be the most sobering experience when I break that thing from in front of you.
Just don't roll that nat 1 when you're swinging. That's all.
Oh, and you just cursed me for that.
Don't do it. Just don't. That's all you have to do is not do that.
What's gonna happen now?
Yeah. But
Next up.
just don't.
Yeah.
From
From the,
Nedra.
yeah, from the AOG 99. As promised, here's new Nedra fan art. Planning on doing more characters in the future.
Hell yeah.
Sorry for being absent for so long. Listen, my guy.
The wait was worth it.
The wait was 100% worth it. Look at this art.
Yeah. Never be sorry about not producing fan art for for basically nothing.
This is fucking astounding,
We
though.
love it and we appreciate it greatly and we love looking at it.
Yeah.
But
So the moment I see this artwork, do you know what I hear in my head? A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
yeah. Oh yeah. God, Nedra would be a horrific Darkest Dungeon boss.
Dude, it's possible. Mods are available. You could do that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It would be this art style too.
Fuck yeah. I believe that's it, unless I'm wrong. You're right. All right.
He's correct. All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the lovely fan art. And we'll see you guys next time at the table. Later, Wonders.